Says it's live. Let's see what it does. Chat. Edit videos. I got to get rid of the damn emojis.
Wish they'd do that update like Laura got over in the UK. They dropped it down into the chat box. It's not in your way anymore. I haven't seen it do that over here, fortunately.
Getting close.
What's up, Laura? Daryl, how's it going?
Okay, I think we're good to go now. I think. I hope. Laura. Daryl. Waypoint. How you doing? Good morning.
Brian?
I'll be right back. Mia's at the back door making a racket. What are you doing?
What's up, Michael? Think attend the VIP reception and got taken out to dinner. Folks got me a drink. Oh, cool. What's up, Jody? She's alright. I guess for the most part, it's been kind of stressful trying to deal with all that. Just can't seem to tell us what the hell it is, so I don't know. Yeah, dude, playing, I don't know how the kids do it. Playing that crap on the Switch is not fun.
Morning, Frank. Here comes the man. Crash Joe. You heard about he lost his drone, didn't you?
Yeah, I was here when he told the story.
Yeah.
Just gotta wait for his insurance company to pay up on it.
Yeah.
Carrie Seabrook, how's it going?
Okay, am I back?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
You were never
I
here,
got
but
on
yeah,
Uncle
you're
Bill's
here.
in a snap last night. It's got to be something to do with Zoom because I got on Uncle Bill's right away. Never got off of it. Never had a problem with it. It was like boom, boom. It's just with Zoom. Zoom sits there and then it kicks me off and it comes back. Kicks me off, comes back.
Yeah, ever since they did that update a few weeks ago, a lot of people have been having problems with it. I kept doing that to me the first week after I did the update. It kept crashing on me every time I loaded up. I just don't like the feeling of the Switch, to be honest. I think it's uncomfortable to play.
Now they're pushing. Go get your combined COVID and flu shot right now. What?
Oh, they're doing a nice little cocktail mix, huh?
Boy, I hate when you get a tickle right here.
Never mind, I'm not even gonna say anything.
Yes.
Oh, what was that?
Okay, but let's see what Facebook. Okay. Okay.
You're muted, Joe, if you're talking to us.
I started coughing. I didn't want to pass out right
Oh, couldn't have called for help because we wouldn't have known that.
here. My son said he'd have heard me fall. He'd have come out and said, "Why are you on the floor?" It is a beautiful day. I guess I'll fly my Avata. Can't say two.
Take the one out.
Yeah, I got them all charged up. I filed a claim. State Farm. Now I got to wait on them.
You did it online?
Yeah, I did it online last night.
I'm sure it's not
And
gonna take them that long. Probably a week at the most.
well, Joe said the last one took him 2 weeks, but that was his third claim. You see what I mean? But they were probably taking their time with it.
I'm surprised they haven't dropped them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
surprised. I'm surprised it's one of those insurance policies. It's not like it's a one-time thing, and then they drop you out there because it's like how many drones? Because to be honest, the way those policies are written, it's super easy to scam them and say
Yeah.
that you lost the drone and you really didn't, and get them to pay out for it. I mean,
Well,
they
I,
don't even have you have the drone to prove that you wrecked it. Imagine if they
well,
did
I
that with
asked
vehicles.
him. Yeah, I said, "Do you need to send any kind of flight records in?" And they said, "Never had to do anything."
That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you did that with vehicles. If you could just say you crashed your vehicle and you didn't have to prove it. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy that they don't ask you for any kind of proof. Because I mean, if somebody could buy a new drone and easily, like a month or two later, say, "Oh, I crashed it. I want my money back."
yeah,
And then it's not like State Farm has records of that drone to see if it's actually flying in the air after it's supposedly wrecked or anything.
right.
Yeah, that's just nuts. I'm surprised they don't at least require you bring in the body or something, or flight records
Because
or something.
or make you or take like a different price, for a flyaway. And the crazy thing, like I said, I don't know yet, but what he said that he's always insured for what he's paid for it, and gave him the receipt, and they've always paid him back what he paid for it whether it's a fly more kit or not. So if they do that, it's insured for 1309.
Now, does that
And
cause
I
your
ordered,
premiums to go up or anything?
It shouldn't.
Guess not for something that small, but still, I mean, it's $1,000, you know?
Well, when this one's all said and done, and like I said, I'm gonna get with my agent and I'm gonna switch agents to the one over here. Because she switched it, when she had it all set up, everything was fine. And when I went on last night, it was on it. But then my thing went up $11. So I had $11 increase on my $60 to $71. And she never told me
Wow.
anything about that. And that's coming out for like July 5th or something like that. The $7 to it's like $7 difference. But she didn't tell me there was added $7 to it. You know, and this is what I'm saying. They don't tell me anything.
Right.
You know, it could have been a $50 increase and never told me. So I just want to switch agents while I have somebody close. But I could go down there and say, bitch, listen, you know, but if they do that, I actually got with Crutchfield last night and ordered one through Crutchfield, the Avata 2 with the battery. And it's like $500, $510, I think, with tax. And it said, should be like 7 to 10 business days when they should be able to fill the order. So, and the good news is I don't have to worry about the money right now because I put it on that Crutchfield card and it's 6 months same as cash. So when the money comes out, I just pay it off. Hey, it's TJ's birthday. Where's he at?
Oh, and then he's probably with his mom or something. Or having breakfast or something.
Well, you know he didn't go to work. He's of the generation that takes off on their birthday.
I used to take off for my birthday only because Sarah would want to go do something. So,
I can't remember if I ever took off on my birthday. I really can't.
I don't see the problem with it if you're like, if you do it ahead of time. I always put in for vacations or vacation days real early though. I'd put in for a month or two ahead of time. Then I'd wait till managers were about to quit and then I'd have them approve me a bunch of vacation time. Once it's approved, the company can't take it back.
Oh yeah.
So I'd find managers like assistant managers that were on their way out. They were either retiring or whatever. I'd go in there, I'd sweet talk them, be like, hey, you want to approve that 3 weeks of vacation for me? Yeah, sure, no problem. They don't give a shit.
Who's Carrie Seabrook?
I don't know, but
I don't know either.
they said
Named
hi in
after
the
a
chat
bridge
there.
here.
Mia was barking up a storm. How
Why?
dare people dare walk their dog in front of my house?
Yeah, why not? How Bo and Tyson are. Tyson's fucking annoying when he starts barking though outside. He's so damn loud. Like just because he's got this little tiny like little man bark. It's just really annoying when he starts going off. He's super loud.
Has Tyson been loving up on the wife there, Sarah?
Oh yeah, he always does. He loves Sarah.
Because what I found is the dogs always know when you're not feeling well.
Oh, he's always loving on Sarah all the time. He's a big baby with her. She spoils the shit out of him.
Did you see on the news where that rodeo bull jumped the fence and went into the stands?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Nobody was killed, but several people were injured.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. He'll get paid out for $1,300, but he's only gonna buy a $500 replacement. So yeah, he'll end up having the whole kit. I used to not take off for my birthday, but I'm getting tired of putting a job before my life. Yeah, I feel you on that, Daryl. That's how I felt when I worked for Walmart, because I was just fucking there all the time, working long ass shifts. Hated it. One assistant manager I worked with, man, he was lucky. His wife got like some like high paying ass job making like over 500 grand a year. And she told him, she said, you can either, she told him, she said, you can either stay home and be a stay at home dad, or you can, move out. He said, I quit. The next day he walked out and quit. I was like, I don't fucking blame him. She was getting mad because he was never home. He was always at Walmart working all the time. Like I said, she got this like high paying ass job making over 500,000 a year.
Well, yeah,
So
that wasn't a no-brainer, right?
yeah, he comes to work with the last couple days he was working. He came up to me. He goes, "Yep, my wife got a 6-figure job making a $500,000 a year. He said she told me either I can stay at Walmart and move out, or I can leave or quit Walmart and just stay at home and do what I want all day." He's like, I quit. I said, I don't fucking blame you, dude.
And it all depends upon what kind of relationship you have with your wife. If she's real overly domineering, I don't know. I'd have to think
No,
about
it
it.
wasn't that. It was the fact that like they were already having kind of a little bit of marriage problems because he was always gone all the time and she didn't like it. And she was home every night. Like her job was, she could come and go. And and when you're assistant manager at Walmart, oh my God, dude, they'll work your ass to the bone. Like there's like 3 or 4 months out of the year where you'll literally get like a half a day off a week and that's it. They'll work you 6.5 days a week for like 12 to 14 hour shifts, just stupid amounts of hours.
Because you're salaried as well, they don't care.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is they treat you like absolute garbage. And like I said, he was never there. So she didn't like it. I mean, if you were told, keep your job and move out and you're working like 70 hours a week, or your wife said, stay at home and you could be a stay at home dad and do what you want and I'll pay for everything. I mean, come on now. Yeah, and salary managers only start off at Walmart. I think it's like 49.5 a year. So right under 50,000.
Not, it's not a lot when you put the hours in, though, is it really? Shit.
Not when you would break down how many hours they were working, they were making less an hour than some employees were
Right, yeah.
because of the amount of hours they were working. Like I was a support manager, so I wasn't salary, but
Hmm.
I was over department managers, but I was under an assistant. And I didn't have to work overtime, but it was like if they asked you to and you said no, that was kind of like frowned upon, They kind of look at you like you're not being part of the team. So you were always working like tons of overtime. Granted, I got paid overtime pay, so it wasn't as bad for me, but But they used to only like Walmart managers used to only make like, I think was, it was like 32 or 33,000 a year for assistant managers. And then the government passed this law, the federal government stating that if you work more than 40 hours in your salary and you don't make a base pay of 49.5 a month or a year, they have to pay you overtime. So Walmart was like, fuck that, we're not paying all this overtime, so they just upped everybody's pay to the 49.5 because it was cheaper than what they'd be paying in overtime every year, so. If I got paid overtime, I'd make a good ass check. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, salary's a good thing, but then it's a bad thing. Like salary, yeah, they can overwork the shit out of you, but you're guaranteed that same amount of pay every month. But yeah, there's downfalls to it for sure.
Thing is, if you're careful and you delegate as much as possible, you can get somewhere approximating a regular weekly, hourly. What I mean is, you can work close to 40 something hours if you're careful. I mean, not all jobs. I mean, obviously the positions
Yeah,
are
not all of them.
different wherever you.
Yeah,
But
Walmart, you couldn't, cause that was a store manager that would make them do that.
right,
It doesn't matter if they delegated all the work, they would still get forced to stay.
sure.
And see, I was lucky. See, I was, uh, hourly, but my job that I did in the store was like one of the most important jobs. It was inventory control over all the
Okay.
consumable areas. And so the store manager gave me the power to not be touched by the assistants or co-managers. They weren't allowed to mess with me.
Hmm.
My job was you do your job, you answer directly to me. They don't tell you what to do. And
Right.
so it made my job a little bit easier because I didn't have to deal with all the different levels of management. They weren't allowed to tell me what to do because he would tell them, don't fuck with him. Let him do what I told him to do. And you don't mess with him. You don't pull him off of what he's doing. You leave him alone, which made my job easy. So because the system managers would always be trying to steal other people's associates to go do shit.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you do need some form of departmental autonomy. Otherwise, you'll fuck with all sorts of people you shouldn't fuck with, and things will get messed up.
Well, that's why they cut a lot of their management out, man. Walmart got rid of, they used to, I kid you not, one store would have one store manager, 4 co-managers, 8 assistant managers, and then there would be like 16 department managers. All in one store. That's just one fucking store.
That sounds like an organizational clusterfuck.
And then you would have about 250 employees, regular employees, anywhere between 250 to 350, depending on the size of the store. But yeah, so they cut it down to one co-manager, one store manager. I think it was 4 assistants. And then they went down to like 4 support managers and that's it. They got rid of all the department manager positions. They cut like a shit ton of fat out of their management system a few years back. Cause I remember there was 4 co-managers that were all vying for one job in the store and they didn't know which one was gonna get it. But they all got a year's full pay as a severance.
Oh,
And a
that's good.
co-manager made, I think, 70,000 a year salary.
Wow. That,
So
fucking hell, that is some bonus,
Yeah,
isn't
but
it?
then you take 50% taxes out of that.
Oh, not in
50.
Florida, no, they wouldn't have paid any income tax. They would have just paid their normal federal tax. But 3 of them got to walk away with a year's pay for, as their severance. Now, if you were a non-salary manager and you were losing your job, you either had to step down or they only gave you 2 weeks of pay. I was like, that's some bullshit right there. That's like, so of course, a lot of people didn't quit. They just stepped down because they didn't want to lose because 2 weeks of
And,
pay, what is that? That's nothing.
It is the birthday Mario.
Many happy
What's,
returns of the day,
What's happening?
Anthony. Right.
Happy birthday to TJ.
Appreciate it. I'm getting old, man. 41 years old.
Baby, just a baby.
Yeah, Paul,
Uh.
Watch it,
Paul and
Justin.
Joe are like, hold my beer.
Change
So,
the- no, what you do is just tell them, change the channel there, TJ.
change the channel.
But to be fair though, TJ, with a moustache like that, you must take it all in your stride, you know.
Yeah, I want to put on Green Acres. That's what I want to watch.
Green Acres.
I don't know. I used to like to watch Lassie
Oh yeah, Lassie. Yeah, that was a good one.
or Rin Tin Tin.
I don't think I've ever seen Rin Tin Tin.
Oh,
It's because
Yeah,
you're
that
only
was a good one.
41, TJ.
Yeah, You got to
and
be
the
over
the
60 for
original
that.
Jetsons.
Yeah.
I remember watching Jetsons and Flintstones when I was a kid. I actually like growing up, I thought they were like from my era until I got like older and I realized they were a lot older cartoons than me. I was like, holy shit, I couldn't believe how old they were.
Yeah,
They were
I
What
what,
about
like,
What's up, Jody?
weren't a lot of those cartoons from the 60s or 70s?
60s, yeah.
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 So Joe, you gonna get you another Avada too, or?
I already got one on order.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I ordered just the drone and the battery. But
Oh,
they're not
nice.
available yet. They actually are available. And what they're doing is they're shipping them out sparsely to places. So I'm on a waiting list at a place. If I'm the only one waiting for one, when it comes in, I get it, you know?
Oh, there you go.
Well, see, Joe's lucky too, because he's gonna get the full $1,300 payout. But he's
Yeah.
only gonna have to buy a replacement drone and battery, which is gonna be like $500-600. So he'll end up with some
500.
money in his pocket. Yeah, you'll end up with,
If I get 2 batteries, I'll still make $700.
right. Yeah, you'll end up with money in your pocket at the end of the day. Cause they pay him for the full fly more, even though he only lost the drone and 1 battery. Like he didn't lose the controller or the goggles. They're still
Yeah.
gonna pay him for all that though. So, yeah, all he has to buy is a replacement drone and he walks away with $700-800 in his pocket.
And you know what's funny about that? This is my slow month. I needed about another $500. It's been coming in trickling, you know?
Yeah, we were messaging back and forth, Justin. I told Joe there should have been something in the goggles that said pull.
Well, collision avoidance would be nice in the Avada, but it doesn't have it.
It was so
Yeah.
quick
No.
though.
I told him he should have had it in senior mode. Boy, TJ,
But I
you're
tell you-
one year closer, TJ.
1 year closer, yeah.
Yeah. Justin, did you see the video?
Oh, no, I never did end up watching it because I got busy last night.
Man,
Yeah,
when I
it's only
first
2
watched
minutes.
it, that
Let me
thing-
go to
that
your
thing
channel real
scared-
quick and watch
scared-
it.
That thing
forgot all
scared me
about it.
when I first saw it.
I'll put it to this. If you look at it, you got to look at the telemetry at the very end, when I saw it, because what happened was I came around and I was going to go right over the boat launch, but there was a boat there. So I let it drift out. And I didn't even see the pole till all of a sudden, if you look at it when you're going through in the slow motion, you'll notice how the pole blends into the water
Yeah.
and then the
And the
white
background.
part blended in with the boats.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to be kidding me, you know?
Here you go,
What?
Joe.
Like I saw
Yeah.
you started it. I saw you started it because like in the little headline there it said, "Okay, time to bring the Avada home." And I don't know why. Like I don't know why it decided to veer off to the right to go over the water. That was kind of weird because you were bringing it in the right
Yeah.
direction, and then
That was
that just kind of veered off.
Oh, Jesus, Joe talking about losing his drone again? Oh my gosh. He's like a kid coming home from preschool after he saw a dog get hit on the way home and can't stop talking about it. Oh,
no,
did you
damn.
see? Hey, did you see it? Hmm.
I'm
I'm just giving you shit, Joe.
I've tried to mute you, but I'm not a host. God darn it.
Let's bust Joe's balls
Hey, Joe,
about crushing.
I do
his
have a question. Did it still go into two pieces?
I'm kind of trying to figure that out because I looked at the slow motion of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it does look like it comes apart. Because when I hit it, it looks like this thing's just flying different directions.
Hmm.
Before the camera.
Yeah, I didn't know what you
was-
meant by that. Two pieces.
Yeah, I think what happened, I think I hit it right in between the gimbal and one of the prop guards, and it probably split the prop guard off. That's
Mhm.
what probably knocked that. That's what probably knocked the what you call it. You figure
The bumper.
18 miles an hour.
That's a good hit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that damn thing just came out of nowhere. It scared me at first when I was watching. Like, oh my god, it just popped up out of nowhere.
You should have been in the goggles.
That was like when me and Maddie and Alex were out flying one day at this park near Matt's house. Alex and I were flying, and we came about like an inch close from hitting each other from like with both of our Avadas, and like we just like came by right at the exact same time, and his Avada just came out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit, that almost scared me.
I've had 3 firmware updates. I've got my regular Avada right now, and I'm checking it for updates. It's giving me 3 different updates. It keeps updating different things.
All that
See if it does
open
it again.
airspace and you hit the 2-inch pole that's right there.
I'm
That's
telling
funny
you.
as shit. There
I
was
hit it,
like
didn't I?
nothing. Yeah, there was nothing else around but that little 2-inch pole, and he friggin' smacked it.
Boy, did I smack it.
Yeah, you did.
It was. Yeah, the funny part is, like I said, when I saw it, it was like this. I'm flying, and I sit there and I went, "Oh shit!" That's how fast it was. It was like, "Oh shit!" And I did that with the thing, and I gunned it to go up. Yeah, because I was trying to. What I should have done if I had my finger on the freaking the other toggle switch, if I'd have hit it, I could have rolled, and I might have been good.
Yeah, see that. See that. Right there. There's the pole.
Yeah.
Nothing else
Yeah.
around in that
You
area.
can't see it because it's wrapped in the background.
It's
And
Yep,
then
it's
it's
right.
blending in with the.
Mm.
And look,
And you can
it's
see how
just,
everything's blending in with the boats and everything.
but it's just crazy how there's nothing else around, and
This
that's the
is when
one
I
thing
saw
you hit.
Yeah, you don't even see a reaction at that point.
Yeah, it happened so fast.
I slow mode it.
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
The TJ got some crazy hair going this morning.
Yeah, my hair is a little crazy. I need to get another haircut.
We saw what happened when you got your stash cut.
Yeah.
Now you just look like an 80s porn star that's surprised. Stuck a finger in a light socket.
Yeah. Hey, what does this do? Oh, goodness.
I think it's a good look, TJ, and of course, as you know, it does come with a lot of responsibility. You know, you have to rescue people from burning buildings now. You have a moustache and everything else, but I'm sure you can do all that.
Oh, he froze up.
He's
Great
frozen.
mustache. Comes great with great responsibility. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, there it is.
You know the thing. Indeed.
What? Oh, that was weird. Oh well.
Yeah, you're back now. You froze up for
Oh,
about
okay.
15 seconds.
Yeah, 'cause it said my internet was unstable, but
Oh, wait, Andrew,
Oh
my
my, I
wife.
had to
gave me a nice-
chase the trash truck.
Wait.
What, you forgot to take your trash can to the road?
Yeah, well, I took all the other trash out because all that tree stuff I had. But then I forgot about the trash from the house. So don't get old,
Right.
TJ.
What, did he have to back up and grab it for you, or did
Yeah,
he?
he did. He backed up.
That's good. Some trash
That's
dudes are
funny.
dickheads, dude. Like the guy here, dude, if your trash can's like a little overflown and he swings the trash can up and he knocks the bag out on the ground, he'll just leave it, drive the hell off. He won't
Yep.
get out and even pick it up. I went out there the other day and our trash can was just a little, it was enough where the lid was propped up, a little bit. There was one bag on the top and he slung it up and one of the trash bags fell on the ground and he just drove off and left it. I had to go out there and pick it up. They won't get out of their trucks for nothing anymore now that they got all those claws on all the trucks now. Because none of our trash trucks have the guys on the backs anymore, like that go and grab the trash cans. It's all automated now. Just one
Yeah,
guy
this
in the
had
truck.
this had a guy in the back.
When I first moved here, they used to have the trash trucks where they would have two guys on the back and one driving, and they would just, the two guys would jump off and boom, 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 boom. He'd be hitting the houses and dumping the
Well,
trash cans in the back, but now they've all gone to the claws where it's just a single guy in a truck. The thing about it, now
Well,
they
that-
don't have to pay two extra guys to be on a truck.
Well, that's what ours does. We have one truck that comes for the trash, and then like another one that comes through with like all the recycling and stuff. And I think there's two guys on the back of the recycling truck that hang on and they pick up the recycling bins on the
What's up, Chris? How you doing,
on the
man?
side of the street, and they dump it into the truck. So
I've seen, actually, we have 4 trucks. We have one that picks up trash, one for recycling, one for yard waste, and then there's one that picks up large furniture.
oh
Like
yeah,
any kind
for
of,
bu-
like any other
like
trashy, bulky stuff, yeah.
yeah, like
But
bulk
in the,
pickup. Yeah.
if you're in city limits, the trash, the bulk pickup has to come through every week. They have to come through. If you're in a county area, you get 4 free pickups a year. You have to call it in and then they'll come out within a day or two after you call it in. And they'll come out with a claw truck and pick it up. But yeah, in the city limits though, the agreement is they have to come through every week. So they have to drive down each street and look for stuff. Same with the yard waste. And I'll tell you what, some of those guys in those yard waste trucks, man, they are precise with those claws. The one guy that comes to our neighborhood, dude, I swear to God, he'll pick up one leaf with that claw just to get it in the truck. You'll see him. There'll be one little stick that he didn't get, and he'll reach down with that claw, and he'll just finesse that stick up into the claw and then throw it up in the back of the truck.
Well, you should meet him out there at the road and give him your card and tell him that you need him to be a gamer.
Oh wow, it got quiet all of a sudden.
So
Yep.
Donald, how did you make out with your interview the other day?
Oh, TJ dropped out.
Interview it seems like it went okay, but you never know until they call back.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've had interviews that went really well and thought I was gonna get the job and nothing. Never called back. Yeah, like Donald said, you just don't know till they call you.
Yep.
I had a
Only
really
call-
good interview with GameStop about 2 years
Joe.
ago.
Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Justin,
Hey, Mark.
Michael, Don, Joe,
How's she feeling?
Chris,
Who, Sarah? Like
everybody
shit
else.
still?
When does she
TJ.
go? When does she go
She
to the
got an
doctor?
appointment today.
Yeah, she's going to see her regular doctor today because they don't know what it is. They've taken multiple X-rays and what do you call it, ultrasounds, and there's nothing there. They can't find anything. I don't know what it is. She's just having severe stomach pains. Of course, she started Googling shit last night, freaking out because it was saying that she had all these different things.
Yeah, you can do that with anything, though. It just depends. It's like a form of confirmation biases. If there's a way that you can interpret what you've got as something bad, you will find it. So it's not always a good thing to do. That's why you have to speak with experts.
That's
Well, the
that's
sad
exactly
part
what I
about
told
it
her.
is his wife works in the medical field, and she does medical billing, and she knows all the medical people. So
Right.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, they're trying to figure out what it is. They just don't know what's causing it. So, because like I said, there's not like, with the X-rays and the ultrasounds, there's no like tumors or any weird shit that everything looks normal.
Have they established
So-
if it's an endocrine thing though, Justin, or not?
A
I
what
thought they had
thing?
already.
Endocrine.
Like the endocrine system. What's that?
Yep.
That thyroid, thing on your neck. So all the sort of blood chemistry type of issues. I'm not an expert,
I
but you know what I mean.
have no. Well, that's the thing is they haven't had an answer for her, so I don't know.
Okay.
She's been to multiple doctors. She even went to the emergency room. And what was it on Saturday or Sunday? Was it Sunday? Yesterday, I think. I think it was yesterday. She went trying to.
And
I hope you do
endocrine
get
system
some
has to
weekend
deal with all the
results.
function of all the different vital organs, like.
Yeah. I hope you get some resolution, Sarah. I hope they find out what it is.
yeah, it's
and get
no
it
good to go
nailed
through
down.
that.
But like I said, they haven't really given her any explanation for it, so it's kind of just in the air at the moment.
Oh, so she's in the worse pain today than she has been.
Where does it hurt at?
Her whole stomach area.
Her abdominal.
Mid stomach, right, left?
I think Sarah meant to say diagnosed. So
It's all around.
Well, that's the thing of it is, if the pain is bad enough, Joe, and you know this, the pain can
It'll radiate.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to try to isolate the area, and it'll almost tell you what it is.
yeah, they call that
Yeah.
deferred pain. So if you've got something wrong with some area, the pain can be something else. It can be
Yeah.
toothache.
Mass-
Sarah
itself.
says it's her entire stomach area.
So the whole stomach area. She's got the thyroid issue.
Maybe it's just-
Sarah, if you lay flat, if say Justin comes over and
bite me,
pushes on your
Dre.
stomach a little bit, Justin, listen. If you pressed on her stomach, is it like just, is it rigid or does it give a little?
Yeah, is it
That's the
soft
big
or
thing.
is it rigid?
I don't know. I don't try to push on it because even the littlest nudge, she'll start crying. So
It
In
might
other
just be a
words, if I
massive.
get you to go do that, you're gonna get a black eye, right?
exactly, I'm not doing that.
It might just be a massive fart.
Okay, she's
No, I'm
got
kidding.
tenderness.
Just joking.
Yeah, yeah. Listen to Cool Cat. He's got that accent, so it sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nothing could be further from the
maybe
truth.
she had too many crumpets.
Or
It could be too much crumpets in
but
tea,
you know,
isn't
sadly,
it?
it could be some kind of blockage that's called gas to build.
Oh dear, you dear. It's funny.
Is
God's lining.
Sarah, are you using the bathroom as normal? There's no changes there?
I gave me some giggles.
She said it's not a massive fart.
It's not a massive part. Yeah, sorry, Sarah. You're right. I shouldn't joke about that. I hope it is.
Justin's
Though.
cooking.
Fucking
I
hell,
got
I do.
Wouldn't it be great if it was, and
Good
just suddenly she just blew like a Jackson Pollock all over the sheets, and
Yeah, and go. That's
So
it.
great.
I got it.
I'm good.
I think you need to go off.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of women, when they think they're going into labour, it's just wind.
Dre says it's a 61265 pain.
And it does it's
But it's
painful.
painful,
Anything she does, everything. Now, from what you're saying, Sarah, is the pain radiates from your stomach out? Is that what it's doing?
from the middle,
Yeah.
pancreatitis.
High, middle, low, middle, or all around?
She was looking up symptoms last night, and now she thinks she has Crohn's disease.
Well, here's the thing. I was just thinking that actually.
Well,
Crohn's
Crohn is
disease.
another name for an old witch.
No, Crohn. Crohn's. Not Crohn's.
That's Donald's poking fun at a serious matter.
Mm,
Now, I know it's early, but if you have Crohn's disease, that's gonna also affect the way you
Crohn.
go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you're going
That's why I was
crazy,
asking-
then you
that's
might have
why I was
Crohn's.
asking about your bathroom. If
Yeah.
it's normal or-
One of my uncles has Crohn's disease really bad.
Yeah, Crohn's disease will tear you up in a minute.
I gotta look it up.
No.
I don't even know what it is. My friend has.
All right,
Crohn's
relax
disease.
yourself, Dre.
But your pancreas could get you call pancreatitis, you get infected, and that thing will make your whole body hurt,
Yeah.
like your stomach go from side to side. And if she's having pain, that's feeling like it's all over down there. It could just be a little bit of inflammation down there.
Is it
But
one
my-
side or another? Because if it's Crohn's disease, it's likely to be lower right part of the tummy. So
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
Yeah, you gotta get
claiming
more
it hurts
isolated.
all over. So,
fatigue, tiredness.
Well,
weight
it's
loss,
been
blood
going
improved.
so long, the radiation from the swelling and everything, probably she can't identify it. They'll have to
Right,
probably
yeah.
X-ray or something.
no, they've already done a bunch of X-rays and ultrasounds. They said they can't find anything.
okay, so
Multiple
rule out
doctors have.
Crohn's. 'Cause
Yeah.
with the ultrasound, they'd be able to know if it's Crohn's.
Oh, they would? Okay, we'll rule that out.
I don't think it's Crohn's myself.
Like I said,
What was-
they've multiple doctors have done a couple. She's had 2 or 3 ultrasounds and 2 or 3 X-rays, and they can't find anything.
How
So
long has this been going on?
for about 2 weeks now.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we got this. So, yeah, because see, my biggest thing is, and when you start having stomach pain like that and it's radiating, like the pancreatitis will do that. But then you got to look at if she's laying down and you put a little pressure on it, if it's really rigid, then it could be. It doesn't. It sounds bad, but it could be, but it probably isn't. But it could be a little bleed somewhere, and that bleed will make your stomach rigid, and that will give you feel like you got shot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be pancreatitis that's got a little bleed to it.
That rigidity is called guarding, as I'm sure you know, Joe. If someone has internal injuries, the body will protect itself by
Oh yeah.
making all the muscles around the abdomen firm up, and that's what they call it, guarding. In fact, it is a clue for emergency doctors to know if there's any damage. They use that as a clue.
Yeah, because you notice some kind of internal real quick.
Right.
Because I had a 15-year-old girl that was in an accident, and she actually was sitting on the side of the road, and we got over there, and I looked at her and said, "You all right?" She goes, "Yeah, my stomach hurts a little," like that. And I said, let me get a chair to bring you over to the unit. And she stood up and she walked over and got in the unit, and I laid her down, and she's laying there, and I'm working on a guy with a compound break on her arm, and I'm taking her blood pressure at the same time, doing a couple of things. And I reached around and I said, let me check something real quick. And I started pressing on her stomach, and it was like I was pressing on a piece of rock. You know, it was like nothing moving. And
Right,
I said, let me ask you a question. I said, I see that you're in a set of tights. I said, you know, you're coming from some kind of gymnastics or something, but I want you to feel your stomach. And is it always that rigid?
Right.
And
Is it
she goes,
normal?
no. She goes, no. I said,
Right,
so you
yeah.
usually can press and it'll go down a little bit. She goes, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a
I said,
huge
okay.
red flag. Because ultimately,
So
that's
I
what you're
already
looking
know
for,
she's
right?
got an internal bleed somewhere, and it's probably
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So one thing or another doesn't really matter. It's the incongruency of a condition that really indicates something.
Yeah.
Change.
I had a guy in a unit that got hit in the head. He had his head bleeding, and he didn't know where the hell he was. He was walking around. We didn't even know he was in an accident. He was walking down the street. They found that one of the police officers saw him looking kind of funny, walking around in circles, and went and grabbed him. And I had the brother in the unit that had a compound break. His arm had about 4 different directions. Doing that, and I'm doing that, and I had a. This is when I was still a basic, and they had a person working with me that was senior to me. So it was her call, and I turned around. She goes, "Get in the front seat." And I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I can't do it. I can't go back there and do that with all of those." I said, "Let's go."
Sarah, did you have an MRI? MRI usually takes it section by section and
Yeah.
Well,
That's
she
the
did.
next
She
step.
did say that she had 3 CTs and 3 ultrasounds.
CTs are usually very good.
they're fine, but
Justin, quit cooking.
Even in the last 5 years, CT technology has improved,
yep.
and it's much better.
EJ, monkeys.
I saw the balloons for a minute there, and now it's the monkey. That's funny.
Oh, shit. I'll turn my
So
son on.
Justin, don't cook for Sarah anymore.
Don't bite me.
Well, so what Joe is saying, maybe it's one burrito too many.
One burrito too many.
Now check everything you've been putting in everything. Make sure you're not using Lysol.
Oh,
Oh, that was
kinda like
olive
when you
oil.
were, yeah, when you were making pizza for everybody at Pizza Hut.
I didn't make that. That was the girl that made that.
Uh,
Linda made that. And the only reason I didn't have a fit with her because she was hot.
blame it on the hot chick.
Yeah, she was a hot boy. I tell you what, I went and looked for blonde jokes in a book in a dictionary, and her name came up.
Blonde jokes. Blonde jokes are always good. I like them. I like blonde jokes. Those are always classic.
Yeah, depends on some of them are better than others.
Yeah.
I didn't ignore you last night, Don, by the way. As you were saying, and there's just me and Mark, you said it as I slid the screen up to turn it off.
Oh, I said Arise Eyes click and close too. I said now it's just me and Mark, and I hit close. So
Yeah.
God, that was a late one. It was nearly 6:15 in the morning here.
I missed that show last night, which is a shame, really. Too late for me.
Lon always gets me. Everything he says, it doesn't matter whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. He laughs while he's saying it.
Yep.
yeah, we got a little deep on that
Yeah, and some
show
of it.
last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah,
were you guys talking? What were
we were
y'all
talking-
talking about?
we're talking
A
about
little bit,
relationships, and Lon is he was making the point, and I get his point that every relationship is just a transaction. But I was making the point that reduces it to being no different than going down the street and buying a hamburger. He's like, if you're not getting what you want, they don't get what they want, then the relationship falls apart. But it comes down. Michael and I had talked about determinism versus free will
Yeah.
at one point, and we're in agreement that we live in a deterministic society. Everything is just chemical reactions, and it's all predestined. Things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. But you can't you can't go through life thinking that. You have to go through life as though you have free will.
Yeah.
And while I can see Lon's argument that everything is a transaction, everything is a give and take, and it is if you're not getting what you want for what you're giving, then the relationship breaks up. I get that, what he's saying, but that takes all the magic out of a relationship. It takes all the love out of a relationship, really.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't, if you go through life with that attitude, it's a very mechanical way of
Yeah.
life, and you have to embrace.
Isn't that kind of easy for somebody to say that's like hardly had any relationships?
He had a relationship. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
yeah, he said
We didn't know that.
He's a
he
widower.
had a wife who died,
Mm.
but
Sometimes when people make comments like that, they're really telling themselves. Sometimes, I'm not saying that's Lon's case. Let's separate Lon from this discussion completely. But
mhm.
sometimes when people say that, is that they're actually telling that to themselves rather than other people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
Mind you,
he
I mean,
maybe
he
maybe
likes
it makes
love
it easier
more.
to go through life with that
Yeah.
he
mindset.
comes from a
That's right.
bit of an
Yeah.
awkward relationship as well, doesn't he? His dad got a French girl pregnant, and then they split up, and he ended up with the dad ended up with Lon. So he
Oh, I have no idea
didn't
about
really,
that.
he didn't
that-
really have much of a mother.
Why is there like another? Oh, Justin's using my picture. About,
You should have saw TJ's face. He's like, what the hell?
Wait, if that's me, who am I?
That's me.
Yeah.
One of them in two places. We ought to all put him up. His brain would explode.
He'd be like
like
he'd be like a
it's like
bird caught in the house and slamming into mirrors, just trying to find a way out.
That was pretty good, Justin. I was like, what the hell? Why is there two of me?
So Lance said, look at the bright side. You only have one bumper to print. Since I got one back. Yeah. I dare you to come on, Lance.
Lance will tell you how it is.
Ah, TJ's got a woodworking shop. Cool.
Oh, that's weird. When I saw it, I was like, somebody's using my name or whatever. Maybe there could. Well, I know there's like other people.
There's only
but-
one TJ.
Yeah, there's only one. There can't be more. There can't be more than one. Oh my god.
So I swear to God, my name was trademarked.
That's why TJ puts the two
When
E's
I
in the middle.
was born, I'm pretty sure my birth certificate had a TM in the corner.
Little copyright symbol after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Justin, what time does Sarah have to go to the doctor this afternoon?
Probably, I have no idea. She made that appointment when she got to work, so. It's at her work, so she literally has to walk out of her office and do it in the
Oh,
waiting
she's
room.
at work. Oh my God.
Yeah. She made an appointment, like she actually works in the office that she's gonna have the appointment at, so.
Oh, GI doctor, that's gastrointestinal, isn't it?
Yep.
Gastro, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what that. Well, I guess I kind of knew what it meant, but I'm like GI.
TJ,
Gastro?
you were
Not talking about the military.
TJ was thinking about military.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? GI?
TJ's like, I had a GI Joe when I was a kid.
Mm.
Yeah, just imagine this little plastic doll comes in to examine it.
Mm.
There he
I
goes.
didn't even know there was a GI doctor. I had a GI sailor, one with googly eyes.
GI sailor.
TJ's been practicing how to be a good GI wife.
That's funny.
So, did you finish tidying your pantry out, TJ?
Yeah, we just finished it like Saturday before we went to the show. We went to a Linkin Park tribute band, and it was like at 7:30 or whatever. So we had just finished it like right before we left. So everything's back in the pantry now. I think we might add one more. I think we might add one more shelf just to kind of make things balanced, I guess, because I think we have a little too much weight on one shelf, and one of the shelves is kind of like bowing a little bit.
Mm.
You mean when you say Boeing? Do you mean what the door fell off?
No, it's like
Oh, I see. That's what you mean. It's Boeing out.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that was
No, it's
almost
just kinda
too
like,
subtle.
it's got like a little bit of a little curve or whatever.
Got it.
Why is the door bowing out?
No, not the door, the shelf.
No, on
Oh,
the wall.
No,
Yeah.
Michael was referring to the Boeing planes that the doors
Mm.
fall off.
what did
It was
you have too much
Too
weight
subtle
on it
a
or
joke.
something?
Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. There's just a little too much weight, and it's bowing.
Sarah, what did your doctor say? She just put in the chat. She just talked to her doctor.
What's with this magic? You working for Disney, Donald? Dre wanted to know.
I don't understand the reference. What's in the chat? There you go. TJ's
Magic. Let me look.
It's probably something we were talking about.
Oh no, I was busy sending out an invoice.
Oh yeah, they're important.
Yeah, important.
Well, you know, Justin, maybe she's going to have a miracle baby.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. What's with this magic?
Were you doing some magic earlier, Don?
I don't know.
Uh,
Dre, explain yourself.
I'm kind of confused by that too, actually.
TJ, you're confused by everything.
I know. I know.
Yeah, that's a
Don't
good
think
point.
too much into it.
Sorry, that was
TJ.
too easy. I shouldn't have taken a swing at that one. That was
That was low hanging.
That was kind of like a great big. It wasn't even a softball. It was like you were pitching a soccer ball at me, and I just
Yeah.
whacked the hell out of
Here
it.
comes Dre.
Could not resist.
Oh, here comes
Huh?
Dre.
Don't think into it too much, TJ. Dre doesn't make a lot of sense when he talks usually. What's
Yeah.
up,
Hey,
Dre?
Dre.
How's it going?
Yeah, so we should be all right. I don't think TJ thinks a lot of anything.
I don't know. They say every time you think it weakens the nation, so I try not to do that.
Good morning, everyone.
What's up,
Mm.
Jerry?
Morning,
I was
Dre.
referring to your comments. I didn't realize Paul's show was that far behind on delay. When you're making comments about relationships, you talk about Lon, and you mentioned the word magic in a relationship. And
Oh,
I'm like,
gotcha.
what magic? I said, you working for Disney now? Because I've been married 40 years come this July, and it's a lot of work.
It is work. I didn't say it was easy.
The word magic does not, well, I would not think about marriage. Magic would not be one of the words I would pick. There are occasional times of bliss.
Yes. I'm just saying
Technologies.
magic would be the untouchable, intangible things.
The unknown things and the kind of
That make up
mystery
that-
bits and bobs. Yeah.
Yeah, the mystery bits and bobs where he was talking about everything was transactional, but at a certain point you can't itemize everything, and there's that magic that is still involved.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I mean that's just your interpretation or view.
it would be like looking at a sunset. You can look at a sunset and say, "Oh, that's just light refracting and stuff," instead of just enjoying the magic of a sunset. That's the magic I'm talking about.
As in Gene Hackman said in the submarine movie with Denzel Washington, "Bravo, you know when to shut up and just enjoy the moment."
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that.
See, let me see. There's nothing wrong with understanding that it's photons, going through an atmosphere, whatnot, and that's why it looks kind of red to sunset and whatnot. But there's nothing wrong with that at all. But of course, even people who do understand the physics involved, they still get the whole magic thing. They look at. In fact, understanding the physics adds a bit more to it. I think it adds more magic, and that's in inverted commas, right, to the whole thing.
I think he just poured a whole lot of water on your analogy.
Maybe. It's okay. I'm sure Don will forgive me.
That's okay. He's British.
Yeah, it's the same as a rainbow.
Yep.
Yeah,
I appreciate you calling it water, Joy.
Every once in a while I tell, oh, yeah. It's a little less pure than water. It's sterile, but it's not pure.
I understand it's TJ's birthday today.
It is.
Oh, yes, it is, isn't it? Happy birthday,
How old are
TJ.
you actually, TJ?
41.
You're old.
41.
Yeah.
Dear.
And expiration date's coming up.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, TJ, making it to 41.
That's funny. Expiration date.
Check the tag on the expiration date.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
as I look at Don, when it comes to relationship, I said the first several months, years are those bliss years, or you might say those magical years. After a while, like I said, I'm at the point now, it is a transactional ship or transactional relationship to where we look at the pluses
Brilliant.
and minuses.
Well, with all due respect, maybe that's a bit of projection. I think there are many people who go on to right into their twilight years and still love each other just as much.
I tell my wife that she's like the sunset.
Like this.
I've seen thousands and thousands of sunsets, but there's still those ones that can't just take your breath away.
Brilliant.
Those sunsets lead into darkness.
There's even a few sunset analogies that lead to darkness.
Now, if Donald, if you'd have said that you told your wife, you remind me of sunrise, not sunset.
Oh,
No,
TJ.
there's a
Oh,
point
what's
where
happened?
his rod
TJ's
has not seen him
gone
for
off.
ages.
That's pretty good.
So I dropped this picture to AI.
That's funny. That's pretty good.
I took your picture and dropped it in an AI, and I said, make him look funny. And then this is what it came up with.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Now, if you just add a little big mustache on with that,
Yeah.
It's showing I can see you. Yeah, I know you can.
That's pretty good.
Yours isn't giving out a location.
Turn me into AI.
Well, now that you've turned 41, how's the progress going with your getting it put together as far as what you should and shouldn't say to the wife?
I guess it's going good, I guess.
Did you tell Dre what you learned, the phrase?
Oh, I have to every time she asks me something or says something, I say, or tells me whatever, I have to say, yes, dear. Whatever you say, dear.
That's right.
Whatever you say, dear.
Well, I'll tell you, TJ, 40 years of marriage, and even that'll get you in trouble because it all depends how they interpret what you say.
Are you ignoring me? Yes, dear.
Yep, there you go. How they interpret what you say. Because they'll say, oh, you're being condescending to me. You're being dismissive of me by saying, yes, dear, whatever you say, dear. It's always about the moment, as Mr. Don Mudball would say, all about the moment, the magic.
Dre, you could say you've been in a relationship for years and becomes more and more transactional, yes, but you can't tell me that there's just not moments that you look at your wife and there's something about her that it's not a transactional thing, it's just you get a wave of affection and love.
Don, I'm just poking with me, dude.
Right?
It's always, if you don't have a little bit of that, you don't have a relationship, period.
Right, you have a roommate.
Right. That's basically what it comes down to. Now, the running joke in my family is this. My wife is a gold digger, and I work for the CIA. That's the running joke in my family. Okay. My kids will say it, because, my time in the military, then as a police officer, they think I actually worked for the CIA, and I was using these as just disguises and covers for my other covert activities. So, they always tease my wife about, Mom, you're nothing but a gold digger. You just want Dad for his money.
Well, whatever it is, it works, Dre.
I like it.
Well, the biggest thing is, Paul, is that my dad adores my wife. So if she wanted anything, he would buy it for himself. So that's where the problem is. My dad adores my wife, and he will buy her whatever she mumbled. She said, "Do you really want that? I'll get it. You need that? I got it."
Before my wife and I were even engaged, my parents told my wife that if we ever broke up, they're going to get rid of me and keep her.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bigger reason for that is, Paul, is that she gave my dad the legacy that he always wanted. My dad was the only child. So when I had these 5 knucklehead kids I got, that elevated her status in his eyes. That now his legacy is cemented, because he had no brothers and sisters. So now he has grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
You're a good son, Dre.
So the
Good
family
son.
tree goes on.
That's right. So that cemented her status for him.
Well, TJ's family tree is going to go on no matter what because there's always the AI,
That's funny. That's funny.
He's gonna have the first ever Mario family reunion.
Mario family reunion. That's funny.
First wedding with Nintendo sponsorship.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is Justin still in here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I see him up there.
He's
Well,
here.
Justin, I hope everything works out for Sarah. It's always a real mental
Yeah,
stress.
Yeah, she was just saying
There's so much
that she,
unknown,
Yeah, her doctor think it might be thyroid. Thyroid.
and that is basically exacerbates the situation because now mentally there's no definitive discovery of what's going on. It's all guessing game, and that makes the situation worse. So you do whatever you need to do to make her comfortable, to keep her mentally occupied, so she's not dwelling on this. If it means you need to get out of the house, do so. And whatever
Well,
else.
this is a diagnostic stage, and however long, I mean, I guess there's some things that don't last very long in terms of diagnostic stages. You know, if you break your leg, it's usually pretty obvious. But I'd say that most things have that stage, and I guess that you can be sure that they will find what it is, and then they can work on getting it sorted out.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, Cook. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
you mentally you want to know what it is, so you know what the
Sure.
next step is treatment. So that's what we mentally think of. But when it's unknown, it allows our minds to go to the most deepest parts.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it causes anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want, because your mindset is very, very key in your recovery and the start of your recovery. So if you know what it is, then you know what you need to do, and you start thinking positive about doing it. When you don't know what it
Yeah.
is, don't know what to do, then you think of the worst situation. We just lost a
You can do.
assistant here.
I think it's important to leave the diagnostics to the experts, though. It's very tempting to want to kind of push it and rush it and go online and start fishing around for answers.
And I would totally agree. But like I say, when you go down, and hopefully she'll find something out today. Like it's like Justin said, you've been to the hospital twice now, last 2 weeks, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been twice, and there's been no definitive answer at this point. So now
at this point
we're getting second, third, and fourth opinions based on just the symptoms. So that's what I'm saying about the mental anguish of it all, that I've been to the doctor and they don't seem to have a clue.
Yeah. Well, there's a gastric intestinal doctor referral, and of course they're going to look into the thyroid thing a little bit more. So there's something at least, you know. But,
like I said, we all, hope and pray for the best for her. I mean, she's put up with enough when it comes to Justin in her life already.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
She deserves 10 times better.
Yeah, definitely.
Quiet, old man. Watching.
You talking to Dre?
I say, Joe, he called me old man all day long. I claim that title. I wear it like a badge of honor.
Yeah, be careful who you poke.
Mr. Chris
sold my
Flip is in
patches
the
on
house.
yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're crooked.
No, they're not. I sold my AI press, and then I sold the one that says I'm certified.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
And in the process, I looked up the TV and sewed right through my finger.
Oh,
There you go.
I hate that. That's why I don't sew, because I don't want to poke my fingers.
No, I didn't poke it. I sewed it with I was taking the thing up, and I had my foot on. I looked up the TV and pressed it a little bit and ran the needle right through my finger on the sewing machine.
Is that a big fear of yours, TJ, in life?
Yeah,
Poking yourself with a needle, trying to sew a pattern.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I've sat up for nights and just nightmares about that.
Yeah. Can't sleep, needles will poke me. Can't sleep, needles will
Oh,
poke me.
Dre, Chris had a question for you in the chat.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me see what's going on.
It says, Dre, you still use DHI batteries for your Phantom? That's the question.
DHI batteries.
Wonder if he's meaning like
DJI.
I think
Oh,
you
sorry,
meant
DJI.
DJI.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I don't
I
know.
would tell
Sorry.
you, Chris,
DHI, yeah.
wherever I
DJI.
can find a battery for my Phantoms, I haven't had to buy any in about a year or so. I did buy some aftermarket ones, which have been working just great. Like I said, I don't find my Phantoms as much because since I have the Enterprise, Mavic 3 Enterprise, I should say. Yeah, I haven't had to use my Phantoms much as I had in the past. The main one I use now is the Phantom 4 RTK. I still use that one, and I was going to retire that one, but going to find out airspace issues. That one can fly two of the sites that I have every month, and my other ones can't because they won't accept the unlock. So that keeps that
Yeah.
Phantom 4 RTK in the rotation.
Yeah, he was saying DJI hit the H
Yeah,
wrong. I
yeah.
thought he was talking about the United States branch of DJI.
Well, that's why.
He said aftermarket was my next question. I'm assuming he's
Yeah,
asking,
I
do they
haven't
work?
had any problem with any of the aftermarket ones. I just try to make sure they're intelligent batteries that they advertise as. In other words, they will discharge by themselves without me having to worry about them holding the charge too long and becoming an issue, going dead and everything else.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you
whoever you
said
buy it from,
intelligent
make sure they have
batteries,
that intelligent chip
the
built
type
into
of batteries Matt wouldn't buy. Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah, make sure
you
they have that intelligent chip built into the battery so it knows how to discharge and everything else and stop charging when it reaches its full capacity.
So your guest appearance yesterday, Dre, on Paul's show, do you think it helped many people understanding that data app, whatever it's called?
Air data?
Well,
Edit.
it all Michael, it all comes down to, like I always say in my videos when I talk about your data, depends how serious you are about your data. You know, just like there are people on there that says, you know, I fly this for fun. I don't really care about it. I don't sync my stuff, all that kind of stuff. So it's not an issue for those kind of people. But those of us, like I say, especially if you're in commercial work, you need to be concerned about your flight logs and everything. And I said it may come to your aid, or like I said, Air Data gives you enough information on other aspects of the drone, not just the flight log part, but as far as the maintenance of it. And like I said, there's other software which I found out. Somebody told me the other day that I guess I think it was Mark White that said about in the Fly app, you can go down several layers of the menu and find information on your batteries. So that I was unaware of that. So I know Air Data, it will send you information to you when you exceed the heat threshold in your flights. It will send you an email or I think it will even send you a text message that says that you are exceeding certain temperature levels.
Now, you would have known this, Dre, if you took Matt's course.
Yeah,
saying.
right. Mhm. So and I say that because a lot of times we have these uh-oh moments and we forget about the ambient temperature that we're flying in. We forget about where we had the drone sitting at before we actually put it in the air. All these different things that add to heat acceleration. Okay, if you had the car sitting on the front seat of your vehicle in the sun, the heat in the car, that means the drone is hot, the battery's already hot, and now you're just turning on to go fly it. So all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, I was only in the air for 5 minutes and I lost connection, or I lost screen display, I lost this and that. I said the drone already exceeded its temperature level. Because as soon as you turn it on, it's starting to generate heat. Because that's what electronics do. They generate heat for the moment.
Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I got the exterminator coming. So I got a bug problem going on, so I'm gonna.
You got an
get off.
exterminator coming for your birthday?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I hear you got an
Well,
infestation.
when you go to the door, you just say, "Please be kind."
I was gonna say, if your exterminator doesn't rip off his pants before spraying the house, I'd ask for money back.
That's a weird
All right,
choice.
guys, we'll
for a
see y'all later.
birthday
Okay,
party.
I mean,
Most
PJ.
people, you
Anyway, have a great time with your exterminator gram.
Go and
I
exterminate
mean,
these
I've
nuts,
heard of
TJ.
sexy nurses and sexy cops, but sexy exterminator, that's a new one.
Yeah, the exterminator gram. It could catch on.
yeah.
I hear you got some nasty cockroaches.
Oh God.
Boy, that go downhill.
Oh man.
Mm.
I didn't expect it to go that way.
As soon as he
Actually, I
said
did.
what, as soon as he put that little accent, I knew exactly where he was going.
Actually, I did.
I wouldn't have expected any less from Donald.
Oh man, crazy.
Damn.
Too much.
Oh,
All
Dre,
right,
did you
folks,
see Joe's
I got
video?
to tend to do some work here, so I'll see you guys later.
Later.
Okay, Dre. Take it easy.
Yep, I'm
Nothing.
pretending to do work too. Actually, I am doing work.
Are you getting ready for another crash video today, Joe?
No.
He's going to have to relegate himself to flying the ordinary Avata.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to. It's too big. They got
Sounds
so
like
many of
such
these freaking cables.
It sounds like such a first world problem. Oh, poor Joe's got to fly his backup toy drone.
Yeah, the,
So devastated.
gosh, I don't know if I even like today now. Should have never got out of bed.
I think it's always worth trying to recover a drone that's gone into fresh water. I'm assuming that water was non-salty, Joe.
Salt water.
Oh shit!
I still would have let the kid jump in there and try to find it for me, though. He was willing
Yeah,
to.
the gator thing though. Ooh, I don't know. Should you be
Oh,
feeding
it's just-
children to gators?
He was a
Isn't that illegal?
local. He knows what he's doing.
Oof.
And, you know, kid offered. I mean, loses a leg. That's on
Yeah,
him.
he did.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's 20 foot deep, it's
Well, you got to look
It's
at it. It's
nothing.
right at the mouth of the river with the Lake Pontchartrain, and the current was going out. So as soon as it hit the bottom, it's probably starting to go out into the lake. So it's going to get deeper real fast.
Well, if it's near the shore, the current can only be going horizontally.
Well, the
Really?
river was traveling towards the lake. You see what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean. So it would have been
Okay.
horizontally in relation to the bank, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The lake
So
was
when
on
it landed,
one side.
the water's already pushing to the right. So it's on the bottom, but it's going to be. It was a pretty good clip going with the current. So that's the only reason I didn't think about trying to do it myself.
Right.
You know, because I thought about it. I said it's not that deep. I could go, and if I would have been in, I probably could have went in with the clothes I had on. But if I would have went in and had a mask, I might have done it. But like I said, I could see about 7 feet deep into the water, and then it started getting murky, real murky. You know,
Yeah.
you did not see, like a few weeks ago, you could stand out there and see the bottom.
Right.
If I could have saw the bottom, I'd have used a fishing pole with a treble hook and just play with it till I got it. Put a weight on it, just grab it. But and then I didn't see exactly where it hit. That's my other thing. So if I'd have been fishing out there all day with a treble hook trying to figure it out. And then, like I said, it could have been shifting by the moment, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
It could have moved as it went in.
It could be every wave coming through.
Yeah, and depending how close it was to the dock, it could get stuck in those eddies around the base of the dock and be tucked in underneath of it.
You're right.
Salt water's a
it's-
great anti-corrosion for batteries. Works wonderfully.
Oh yeah. Well, if that guy said he saw pieces fly, it hit so hard that battery probably came out, and that battery could have got cracked too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it
that's
was
probably what it is.
it was done. It was a done deal when it hit.
It's like if you have a swelled battery, the best thing to do is drill a small hole through it and release the pressure.
Charge it
Yeah,
up first.
yeah.
Yes, you want to fully
Don't
charge.
do it.
Exactly.
You need to fully charge
Don't
it before
do
you
it.
put a hole in it, because if it's drained, you won't release anything really out of it. You need to actually build up so that it actually expels all the bad juju.
Wonderful advice.
I'm glad TJ's not listening.
Gasoline's quite good as well for.
Yeah, it was
cleaning.
like when I told TJ to throw the battery in the lake to get it out of his house. I was just joking, and he actually went out there and did that. I was like TJ, I swear to God.
Hmm.
Because he had that swelled Air 2 battery in his house, and I said, bro, you need to get that out of your house. And he has a pond right outside the back door of his house. I said, man, if I was you, I'd go chuck it in the water. I said, I wouldn't want that thing anywhere in my house. I was just kidding. He walked out there, literally did the yawning thing and said, "Ugh," and chucked it. It's like,
Hmm.
I was like, what's up, Al?
I suppose the good thing is that when lithium oxidizes, it doesn't create any particularly dangerous chemicals. And I'm not confident about whether or not fish would find the chemicals toxic or not.
Oh, it was a big enough pond that won't
Yeah,
ain't gonna do
that
nothing.
that alligator that bit into that battery.
Yeah.
Hayden, it
Oh, you
was
remember the
going
alligator
off.
that bit into the drone?
And the
Yeah.
and the punctured the battery and
Yeah.
yeah, I felt
Oh,
sorry
I
for that
saw that.
alligator.
Here, I'll show it to you. Hold on, let me find it.
He would have had beer farts for a week. That fella.
They should have been charged.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
There. All right, here you go, Michael. Watch.
A drone hovers seriously close
Oh
to
yeah,
a gator.
I've seen this.
Suddenly, the beast bites it right out of the air.
Oh my God, he's eating it!
Travel blogger Dev Langer was in the Florida Everglades and thought it would be cool to get a close-up shot of a gator with her new drone. But
Thought
the
it would
hungry
be cool.
gator had
Oh, right here.
the alligator, nicknamed George
See,
by
look
the
at that.
stunned tourists, bites right through the drone's battery.
What are you doing, George? Don't eat that, George, no!
Well, that meal sure didn't go down right. Look at the smoke billowing from its jaws. Talk about
Hit her and give a
indigestion.
fuck.
The video is causing a big debate on social media. Tormenting nature with technology, goes one comment. What a careless, senseless act, goes another.
Mhm.
Well, this the thing is, like, I flew over gators a few times, but I was about at least 20, 25 feet above them, and I was not being erratic. I was just hovering nicely,
Right.
and I just pointed the camera straight
And that-
down, got a nice shot of them, and then I was gone. That was
Uh,
2 feet over the water, and it was all over the place.
Never
Yeah.
gonna have a bending being erotic with a.
That's the problem with anybody being able to get in a drone. That's why I think, I kind of in favor of you can't buy a drone unless you show them your Part 107, because all these social media influencers just can go get a drone because somebody else is flying a drone. They go out and do stupid shit like that.
Well,
It's
I
like-
mean, look at the shit Casey Neistat did when they gave him all those.
Yep. They give him a Phantom. He took it off in the middle of the city, and
They
had a
gave that
flyaway
motherfucker a
first
whole.
thing.
He had a whole fleet of them.
Mhm.
They gave him like 10 of them or some shit. The DJI did, and then he wrecked and lost.
Oh yeah, he gets every new model of everything. But yeah, it just
That was
and
bad
any of
publicity,
us
I'm
would
sorry.
know that flight that she was doing, she was so too close to alligator to actually get anything worth shooting.
But I'm saying, like, from DJI's standpoint, though, if I was to give Casey Neistat drones and he did that the first time, I don't know if I'd ever want to give him another one, because that just makes your company look bad. Your
You know
product.
how many drones they sold off of him?
Okay, but at the same time, I'm looking at it from a government standpoint. That's going to make your
I
product.
thought you were
look
looking at it
bad.
from the company standpoint.
The companies
they
would
would've-
love the stuff.
Dude,
that he
there's
did.
plenty of other influencers that were bigger than him. They could have gave drones to and sold just as much. I mean, they could have given Mr. Beast a bunch of drones, and he probably would have been a lot more responsible. with them.
At the
It
time,
makes-
Mr. Beast wasn't as big as Casey Neistat.
I'm just saying, there's other influencers.
I'm just saying,
that
at the
they
time,
coulda gave it.
Casey Neistat at that time
But
was probably the biggest YouTuber.
there was probably a lot of people buying drones, but at the same time, how many people saw his videos and were like, "Oh, fuck those things"? It could have created just as much negative.
I'm guessing not a lot.
No, would it? Well, here's the thing: the government. What am I trying to say? It makes it a lot easier for the government to push the safety narrative
Yep.
Right.
when these sorts of things are in the public arena.
Yeah, that's why I say, part of me is like, I would rather have it not for sale to general public. Make sure you have to show your Part 107 to purchase a drone.
Yeah, and how hard is it for them to set up a simple verification program that any retailer could have on their site or in store that
sure,
you
but
could
then-
just punch your stuff in and it goes
And
right to
it would
FAA's
then drones would still get out
thing,
being
boom.
sold third party and stuff.
At least there's some kind of
Yeah, but,
plausible deniability to the
at
notion
the
of
same
selling
time,
people
why not
responsible.
require them show that and register everything right there in the store?
Maybe
You prov-
that's
FAA
an awful
just-
lot of burden on the store.
What year? What
Not
year
really.
What year was that picture, that video taken?
What's the
The
difference
alligator?
having to go in and do a fishing license or a gun license at a store? You have to sit there and do paperwork and stuff, and people still do it. I don't see the problem with doing it for drones.
I always thought the leaflet format was a good idea, Leaflet. That can prove that they can be responsible,
I mean,
at least understand that there's a level of responsibility you have to the general public. And,
I mean,
and sign something even. That's all right.
Like I said, it's nothing to set up a simple program that retailers could use, that people could fill out, register it, do all their registration, everything right there. Boom, boom, take 5-10 minutes. And then
I think
they're
so long
done,
as
and
they
then
understand that it's their responsibility as a drone pilot, I think you're okay.
Well, and I wouldn't say you even need a 107, but have a trust certificate number
Right.
at least.
Yeah, okay,
minimum.
yeah, I agree with that.
Because that at least tells you the basic rules. And then you
Yeah.
don't have no excuse to say, well, I didn't know that.
There you
You
go,
took the
and that's
fucking
thing.
test.
Yeah.
And if you
That's it.
require them register the drone at purchase, then if they do buy it and give it to somebody else and somebody else does something stupid with it, guess who it falls back on? Person that bought the drone. They shouldn't, then they'll learn real quick not to be buying people drones that shouldn't have them, or aren't doing it themselves. It's the same way with, like I said, when you go into Walmart to get a gun or a fishing license, or to buy a gun or to get a fishing license, you have to sit there and do paperwork. I mean, it's inconvenient, but people do it anyway.
I think logically it gets you into all sorts of trouble when we start likening drones to things like weapons and whatnot. I think we should keep that.
No, I'm just
Simple as
saying
possible.
for doing
I know what you
paperwork
mean.
wise.
Yeah, there
Like,
are.
I get what Donald said, it could be an inconvenience on retailers, but at the same time, if you set up a basic, simple program that they could have on their computers in the stores, that they could easily fill it out real quick, just like they do with fishing license and gun license. You're done.
Yeah, I think to have a little slip, like a leaflet, and have them sign it and understand that it is their responsibility, that might be enough.
Because when you go in there to get a
Physical
fishing
safety.
license, they have a state program on the computer in sporting goods, and they sit there and they fill out your information. Boom, boom. They print out your license and hand it to you. Takes like 10 minutes.
I'm just thinking there has to be some way to just so people have some skin in the game. You see, they're not just buying it because they have the money and want to go be a jackass.
Right.
Yeah, and not just the purchase price.
Having Part 107 shows a little bit of responsibility. If you build your own FPV, the FPV guys, there's a little bit of responsibility in being able to actually know what they're doing. Some of those guys act like jackasses too, but
Sure. Yeah,
But
it
like
gives
you
them
said,
something.
but at the same time, that would alleviate people being able to use the excuse, I didn't know,
Right.
And then the FAA doesn't have to waste so much time on so-called educating people. They could actually hold people accountable.
I don't know. I just see videos like that with the alligator biting through
No,
that
that was-
battery, and it's just a horrible video that should not have happened. It just pisses me off.
Well, it's stupid. She should have never been flying that close to the gator. Like I said, if you wanted to get a nice overhead shot, be 20-25 feet in the air, and don't be erratic with the drone. Like if you watch the drone in the video, she was being all erratic with the movements.
Right. There's no
Yeah.
way. There's
Yeah.
no way that she didn't know that was going to happen. No way. She must have known.
It's-
Yeah, alligators feed like that.
I mean, that's so different than hovering at 2 feet over a lion and then being
What-
surprised
what-
the lion grabbed it.
What
Like,
kind?
what the
What,
fuck?
kind, what kind of drone was it?
It looked like a mini
It might have
two,
been.
maybe.
Yeah,
It
it might
was
have
a
been a
little-
mini mini too.
It looked
Oh,
like a
it did.
mini.
It obviously didn't have zoom control.
It would
No.
have. You could have zoomed
Oh.
the video after post, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, the
From Samsung.
Mini 2 has zoom on it. You have to
so it
press
must have been
down
a mini
on.
one.
Yeah, if that was
What
a mini
is-
one, there's no zoom. Shoots
Oh, I see what you mean,
2.7K.
But even if you were 20 feet above it, you would have got a nice video of it.
Yeah, and you could have
Just-
zoomed in post, couldn't you? I thought that's what Paul meant.
Even 12
But
feet
yeah.
above it would have been out of its reach.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, the point being is, you're assuming that she knows about A, the drone,
Mhm.
B, she knows about how to manipulate the video that she does get, and
Hmm.
then
She was a social influencer posting videos and stuff. She knows how to edit videos,
you
or
think,
her editor does.
Yeah,
You
she
would
was a
hope.
big social media influencer. Trust me, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
But
And
at
it
the
doesn't-
same
And it would not
time-
and it would not surprise me if they didn't fly that out there. They had the camera on the shore shooting it and they had it right over. It wouldn't surprise me if they did it on purpose. Hey, let's have the alligator eat the drone, and they didn't expect the battery to explode.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because the thing is, too, is like I've never flown over a lion, but if I common sense would tell me if I flew 2 feet over a lion, it's probably going to snatch the drone out of the air. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
she was literally right over it, maybe a foot or two over it. It wasn't even that far.
And at 2 feet, you are not gleaning any useful videography at that distance. There's no way. It probably won't even focus, will it? 2 feet
No,
away.
and like I said, on my old channel, I got a couple of shorts that I did where I flew over gators, but I was about 20 feet in the air, minimum at least 20 feet. And I just pointed the camera straight down, got a nice little, 30-second shot of it and was gone. I didn't sit there and fuck with the gator and go up and down and try to entice it to do shit. You know what I'm
And when I
saying?
was-
Like,
when I was flying the little
Sorry.
back streams and bayous with the greatest drone ever, the Avata 2, and I was flying about 2 feet off the water, I was doing it looking for stuff. But if I saw, like, when I saw that one gator in Bayou Paquette, I looked over and I saw him coming towards me. I just made sure I stayed to the left of him. That way, it was to the right of him. I stayed to the left, and I stayed far enough away that he couldn't just snatch it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I stayed at about a 2.5 foot level off the water, just so I can get that
But-
perspective.
I would have to agree with Donald though, because I would think that they probably were doing it on purpose because
Oh yeah,
how erratic they were moving the drone around. It was almost like they were enticing the gator to grab it. And then they
Mhm.
were playing stupid. Oh, we didn't mean to do that. We had no idea.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
well,
bullshit.
it's kids playing, and something bad happens, and then they freak out because they didn't expect the bad thing to happen. Which the bad thing to happen
Yeah.
would be battery exploding. Like, oh shit, we might get in trouble now.
Exactly.
Well, what was the end result? Did they report what happened to the gator?
Oh, it's been all over. It was all over the news and everything. So
Yeah, but I mean,
uh,
did the gator survive?
I don't know. I never found out.
I
Justin,
would.
bring that
I
up.
don't.
Bring that up,
I
Justin.
Yeah, bring it up, Jamie.
Hey, come on, Jamie, bring it up. I'm glad Michael got my
I did, yeah. Your Rogan reference.
Yeah.
Let me see here if I can find anything on that. You want me to pull the video back up, Donald? Donald?
I don't care. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's
Hold
Cool
on.
Cat's. Cool Cat's got the article.
Oh, did he? Sorry, I was.
Oh, no, no,
being
I didn't. I'm just trying to put a silly picture up. Don't worry about that. Sorry.
Because the sensational part about it was the gator grabbing it and the battery exploding in his mouth. But my question is, what happened to the gator afterwards?
It got indigestion.
The articles I'm reading, it doesn't say nothing about it.
Hi, Dan.
What's up, Dan? Al?
Oh, what happened to George the
Al.
alligator?
And Chris. I didn't say hi to Chris.
Yeah, Chris has been here a little bit.
It said, fortunately, the alligator survived this unusual encounter, but it's a reminder to be cautious when flying drones near
So
wildlife.
it did say it survived?
Yeah, it did survive.
They're very robust in certain areas.
Kind of hard to believe that gator survived
What's
that.
up, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
But look at a shark. They've cut sharks open and found license plates of cars and everything else in it.
Oh, look how much plastic they find in fucking fish when they cut them open.
Yeah.
They've been working to
So-
try to clean up all that plastic in the
The
what is it,
microplastics.
in the Gulf, the big plastic island they call it, or whatever it is called.
Yeah. The TikToker put part 1 up and got 300,000 views on that video. Then they put a second part up and got 3.3 million views on the second part, and then combined those two into one supercut of the video.
Ugh. Ugh.
The combined video has been viewed 122,000 times on TikTok and was reposted to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, so they made money off of it.
So not
That's
a
all that
deterrent
matters.
then.
That's all they cared about.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not good. Well, hopefully the wildlife and whatever it is in wherever they did it, America, Canada, hopefully they
I was down here in Florida.
find Florida. Okay. So, yeah,
And
hopefully
see, they
will
did in
find
this
them.
article, they're interviewing a guy from the Park Services, and he says it's a new activity and people don't have much experience with these unmanned aircraft. That's true. But he says these devices often crash, and if someone's standing in the way, people are going to get hurt. It's like, okay, you're a low-level jackass who doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You might be a high-level jackass that doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, like I said, it didn't matter if the drones were a new technology at the time or not. It's common sense would tell you not to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same about football, couldn't you? You know,
Frisbees.
frisbees. There you go.
Frisbees often get
Frisbees,
caught by the wind and go off course.
Yeah, if you throw one into someone's face, they could be hurt. It's like advertising with something. These things, they're great, but do not rub it onto the surface of your naked eye because it could seriously injure you.
I mean, no one
It's
ever
just
told me
fucking
not to do that
ridiculous.
with a cheese grater.
Exactly. So how did you know? You weren't to know. Curiosity got the better of you, and before you know it, you've grated your ding dong away. I know people say some stupid shit, don't they? Oh, God. And that's just me.
Okay, I just noticed something. I'm looking at the air data on the flight that I did, and I was curious because it says front flip. Okay, I did a couple of flips with this thing before it happened, and when it said front flip, it shows me detected forward shock, possible collision, aircraft is pitching sharply forward. Now that was a front flip that I did. Then it does it again, and it says it again, and then I did a back flip, and it says detected backward shock, possible collision, aircraft is pitching sharply backward, front flip. I thought that was the crash, right? Then when I look further, it says 50% battery, and I was at about 40% battery when this happened. And then the next thing, it says motor starting, press and hold the lock button to take off. That's after all of that. Now the motors had been running. But what gets me is that's the last thing that I have on the read, and that's at 5 minutes and 42 seconds. And that's about the time I hit that pole. So I was looking at that, and that's why I thought that was all that. So I went into air data to another one that I did a lot of the acro on. And sure enough, every time you do a roll or anything, it says detected side might be a possible crash. So it's telling me that each time. So what air data is picking up is that because it's doing the rolls that they're doing the easy acro, it's saying it's a possible crash.
Surely the drone knows that it's doing a front flip. You don't mind calling it surely,
back flip, repeated 2 times, front flip, back flip, front flip, and all of that's on there. But it's also saying that because of the motion of the drone, it's the detected forward for shock, possible collision, aircraft is pitching sharply forward, front flip, it says.
Yeah.
You see, so it says the medium risk, but it's letting me know that it's picking that up. But the last thing I have on, like I said, this is what didn't make sense. The last thing I have is at 441, 50% battery. That's when I started bringing it back. And a minute later at 542, 218 feet from me, that's probably about where it hit. It says motor starting, press and hold the lock button to take off. Now, did the thing hit, lose power, hit the water, short out, and start up again? You see? Something shorted out in this thing. But it didn't show impact, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, as soon as it was experienced that water ingress, all sorts of things would have been going wrong.
Yeah, it was terrible.
The thing is, Joe, here's the thing, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be the armchair expert here because I don't own a camera drone. I don't know anything about them really, but I suspect that when this is sending data back to your controller or goggles or whatever's happening, there is a delay. So it's producing the data and then it's holding that and then it's polling it. And so that data gets polled back to the goggles or the transmitter. So as soon as you hit the pole and it's in the water, it experiences water ingress and then it shorts out and does all sorts of weird shit. But it never gets the opportunity to poll that small segment of data that it holds. So you actually lose a little bit of time. So
yeah, I think so.
It only goes up to the point where it's a few seconds away from the pole because that's part of the data. Probably.
That makes sense. Yep, it does make sense. Well, but they haven't asked me to send any pictures or anything in of anything else. I've got the record saying last flight and all that other stuff.
Dan's feed only starts to make sense when you play Metallica's Blackened.
Oh, you saw that's what I was just humming.
No shit, really?
Yeah, bro.
I got lucky.
You got ESPN.
Yeah, actually, it was a mixture of that and say your prayers and no one don't forget my son. Include everyone.
I like that one too, man.
Yeah, that's what I was. So nailed Metallica, not quite the right song, but you nailed Metallica. It was just flowing in my head when I.
I cannot listen to that song because I had a friend back in the 90s, and he would always take any song and he would put a stupid lyric to it. And he ruined so many fucking songs for me. And that song,
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
And that song, he says,
sorry,
where it says, sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow. He would say, keep your brown eye open, gripping your pillow tight. And ruined that fucking song for me.
Oh, I see.
Speaking of, we talked about boobs and FPV yesterday, right? Wasn't that a topic? Boobs and FPV?
Yeah. And jet skis.
Yeah.
And we kind of combine them. Drones crashing into boobs with jet skis. With
Okay.
boobs.
All right. Well, this is as close as I can get to that. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Window, share. Paul, let me know. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add in.
Is this the video you shared yesterday?
Yeah. What? Nobody referenced it.
Dan was on form yesterday. It was daft as fuck. It was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Where he was commenting on something that someone said in the chat, where someone used the term "you guys," meaning pilots or something, and then Dan pretended there was some kind of racial component to the conversation. Anyway, don't worry about it. You'll see it if you watch it yesterday. Is this supposed to be playing? What's happening here? Oh, there you go.
I got them heavy boobs, dance like dying stars. I got them heavy boobs,
Dance like dying stars. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, he flew in there. Oh, that's brilliant.
Toddlers and not bitching about my boobies. They look super flying shirts, but if I swung them in your face, you'd be like, oh my god, that hurts. I'm blind, holy crap, I literally can't see. I have permanent retinal damage. I'm suing you and your heavy boobies. Heavy boobs, heavy boobs. I got them heavy boobs, they each have their own memoirs.
Is this a real song, Dan, or is it some AI created stuff? Oh, you're muted, by the way, Dan.
No, he can't talk while he's down on his what's it.
I got them heavy boobs, dance like dying stars. I got them heavy boobs, don't need an airbag in my car. Here is a list of all of the
I love those American pool tables.
under my boobs. Stapler, 10 pencils, paperback copy of a...
Yeah, so anyways, we have fun.
He's so pretty.
Yeah, we have a good time. That was probably the most fun. These chicks, dude, they were all about the drones. It was weird. All of a sudden, they were like, oh, fly into my... I was like, okay, let's go. Hey, if you're going to show it to me, I'm all in. Anybody else have that experience when flying FPV?
No, yet.
Chicks
Well,
always
there's
pull out
chance.
their boobs and tell you to fly into them? No?
The only thing I
What
flew
kind
into was a pole.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
do.
check it out more.
What kind of drone was it that did the
We
boob
were
flying?
flying. Yeah, we were flying whoops. They were both 1S.
Whoops. Oh, okay.
I think the other one was like the Beta FPV 1S HD, and then the one I was flying was my Tiny Hawk 2S, up to 2S. I think we were only flying 1S inside though. 2S would be way too fast for inside that
It
interior.
looked quite smooth, so I suspect you tune your PIDs. Maybe I don't know.
Actually, yeah. That was actually, what did I have on that? I had Butterflight on it at the time, so it was pretty smooth. It was a mixture of Emu and Butterflight. So, and then I don't remember whose PIDs I put on it. I installed somebody's Pro PIDs just to try it out. But I don't. What's that?
Sorry, go on. I use the presets on the Beta Flight. I quite like that.
Oh, sometimes I will, but a lot of times, man, the roll angle that they offer is not what I like to fly at, so I end up making adjustments. And then the expo is like never what I like. I always like to extend the expo for the throttle prompt. So
Okay.
it smooths out the flights a lot by adding in all the extra expo. A lot of pilots don't like to do it because it makes your quick maneuvers slower,
Right.
but it allows you to be more flowy when you're flying. It gives you more of a DJI feel because it's just so smooth in the corners.
Yeah,
But
some
like I
people
said,
like a bit more precision top end, don't they? And that's fair enough,
right.
if that's what they
And
get on with.
that's what I like. I'm a cinematic flyer. I like to fly full tilt and slowly make maneuvers. I don't like to make whippy. Here's what
Yeah.
it came down to, and I want to be honest with everybody. If you fly FPV, being all that cool trickery stuff is all fun and dandy, but people can only watch so much of that before they're like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
this is intense. I don't
Oh
want to
my
do this
God,
anymore.
yes. Thank fuck.
You know, and if you just make a very flowy flight that's cinematic, that looks smooth, then people can really grasp that, and they will stick around and watch your content because of that. So all that hype about doing tricks, and that's all, man, you're trying to kill your channel, not help it grow. I hate to say it, but you're only at that point
Yeah.
you're only catering to other FPV guys that are in that
Right.
extreme side of it.
And here's the thing, don't get me wrong, I think it is cool and it's very clever and all the tricks
Right.
and whatnot. But when it comes to viewing those sorts of things,
Mhm.
I quite literally the historical let's say experience I have with watching those videos, I'm about maybe 1.5 drone flippy floppy videos in, and I'm bored already of the fucking
Right.
flippy floppies. I just want to see some cinematics now, and I'm
Right.
more interested in, you know, having nice smooth stuff and seeing everything around me rather
Yes.
than feeling fucking hell, you know, and trying
Right.
to hang on or something.
So
You know-
it's go ahead. Sorry,
Oh,
Don.
go ahead. That's all right.
I was just gonna say it's the cruising. I like people that take adventures way away
Yeah.
from themselves. I like
Absolutely,
to see
yeah.
the scenery and see them go way out and arc around the buildings and come. Like I don't like just a field radius. That's boring. I don't. It just gets old quick. It's like okay, we've seen this. What else is there?
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say it's kind of like if I go out to shoot something, I take my camera out, like shooting a commercial. I'm not out there flipping the camera. What is the subject?
Right.
Right,
And
exactly.
you need to be able to see what is the subject. Then you come in, you can show some details. You might do some abstract shots, but you're gonna mix it up.
Mhm.
Right. In fact, you can liken that with, imagine if you were a famous photographer and you photographed some stuff whilst you juggled the camera. That is one video long, right? The whole camera juggling thing.
Uh-huh.
And someone can say, hey, look at this, look, some great pictures he took whilst he was juggling.
That's like amazing, but
But it's one video long. That's it.
Joe,
You know?
I just thought, Joe, we should call you Luftwaffe.
Why?
They did an aerial assault on the poles too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
all that
God.
airspace, and I gotta hit that freaking pole.
That's Justin's problem.
Good what?
You have the same problem. All that airspace, and you had to hit that fucking pole that was 25 feet. in front of you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Doing.
That was the quickest flight I've ever seen in history. Oh, you know who else did that? Love lady, Dennis. Dennis came out to visit me like 3 years ago. 3 years ago? There was like 3 or 4 years ago. Dennis came out and we went to the football stadium. All this area to fly. And I look over and Dennis is going. And I'm going, what are you doing, Dennis? He goes, I can't see my drone. I was like, well, why don't you look down at your controller? He goes, yeah, but I don't know where it is. And then he looks up again, and all of a sudden I just hear smash. This is like brand new Mavic 3 just planted into the top of a pole. Just, it was pieces. I felt so mad for him. He was complaining about seeing a bunch of little black spots. And I wasn't seeing a bunch of little black spots. So I don't know if Dennis stared up too long or stared down too long, but I guess he created an issue for himself and flew right into that sucker. So, and then Justin, you're just, I don't know what the fuck you were doing, bro. You just took off and it went 10 feet. You just like directed. It was almost like you directed it at the pole. You're like, all right, there it is, lined up. That was interesting.
Shows
Well, I
my
was
plan
bringing
from
the
the
drone
beginning.
home. Yeah, I was bringing the drone home yesterday, and I'm coming around. And I said, "Let me go look at the tugboat." So I went around the tugboat a couple of times, and I'm bringing it back, and I'm bringing it over land. So then I said, I'm gonna go back because they had a couple of boats coming in. I said, I'm gonna go back over water and bring it in back over water because it'll look a little better. So as I'm coming over the water, over the boat dock, over the boat launch, they got a boat right where I'm gonna be going. So I just let it drip. And then all of a sudden I look up and they got a pole there. And I hit that pole at 18 miles an hour. The guy said when he heard it hit, he looked, he said he saw pieces flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened with Dennis. Crack pieces.
Although we suspect that it was the battery and the body of the drone, probably.
All right, so what was up with the
Separated.
alligator thing? I'd missed all that.
It's an old video of some social influencer. What was it? Probably been 2-3 years ago.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it the
it was
one where
a
it's
while
hovering
back.
down by the water? The
Hovering
alligator
right
grabs
over the
it?
alligator, teasing the alligator,
Yeah,
and it bites
okay.
into it and busts the
We talked
lipo.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
a while ago, and it goes off in his mouth.
Yeah.
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 Well, we looked into it, and the alligator survived, as far as we know.
Yeah, that was my concern with RC boats out here with alligators, because I have a video where one gets sucked underwater by a gator, and I was quite concerned, honestly, for the gator, because it was a fully charged 3S, and it was probably 3,000 mAh, so it was up there in the power range. And I was sitting here, I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm going to see smoke. I know it. He grabbed it, he snatched it, pulled it under, and I was waiting for the smoke to start popping up with the bubbles, and I didn't see anything. And all of a sudden, after about a minute and a half of it being underwater, I guess the gator kind of trolled around with the boat in its mouth. It released it, and I just saw the boat come back up and surface and plane off, and I was like, get out of here. How did I get that back?
It surfaced and it still worked?
Yeah. Well, boats. Okay, so RC boats torpedo all the time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
have one that's reasonably fast, if it hits just the right wave, it'll just go under, right? And so they're water sealed very well on the lid. I mean, they have lock joints that. So my thing was like, I figured the gator was going to take it under and it was going to crunch, right?
Yep.
And so the whole time I'm like, oh man, I just pissed away $150 RC boat. You know, what happened was I was coming out of a turn and I was giving her full beans and it was going to hit the dock. And so I snapped it and it rolled over in the water. And I was just getting ready to get back on the throttle. And all of a sudden I just saw it get sucked under. And I was like, oh no. Oh, that sucks. So after talking about it with the police department, because I questioned them, I said, why would the gator not crunch this? And he said it was territorial season. They're hunting. So what they do is they choose one area that they constantly circle around as their hunting area. And when it realized it wasn't food, it just released it and let it go. That was my understanding. That's how he put it to me anyways.
With gators as well, even if they swallow something, they can pull this trick where they turn their stomachs inside out and they can eject something,
right?
Even if they've swallowed it completely.
Look, I have the video, man. It's got like 200,000 views or something. It blew up a
Wow.
while ago. It stopped growing after a while, but after 200,000, it pretty much chilled out. But it's interesting to watch just because it happened so quick. Like I was running on that was like 7 years ago, man. That was a long time. It was like before my GoPro was decent. It's a really crappy setup I was rolling with. Justin still accuses me of having scuba divers in the water.
Scuba divers.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this at one point. You were like, bro, there's somebody out there holding it underwater. I'm like, dude, you know how big the gators are out there, dude? You're not going out there with fucking 12 and 14-foot gators, bro. It's just not going to happen. Nobody's that dumb.
Did you have teeth marks on it when it came back in?
So I had a GoPro sticker on the top, and you can see that the teeth marks go through the GoPro sticker where it grabbed it in its mouth, and then on the bottom side you can see the rake teeth marks where it held it. And the GoPro that I had on top of it was gone. I had a little GoPro Hero Session 4 on top, and it did not survive the gator encounter.
Oh wow, man!
So
I'd love to be able to dig that out of a piece of alligator poo, because that would be quite a good video.
Yeah, right.
Definitely of scientific interest as well.
Yeah, no light in there though, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
see much.
spoken like somebody who's never shot GoPro in low light situations.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, when you think of endoscopes and whatnot, what you don't realize is, of course, those things have got lights on. That's why you can see. And of course, everything's puffed up with gas. It's like a little cave that it's taken a picture of.
Mhm.
But
Okay, save that. Good.
I don't really do any FPV either, really. I haven't flown FPV for about a year, and just kind of stick to fixed wing and slope soaring and that sort of thing, just because it's just easy. And I only ever fly for myself, really. And I could probably film, stick a camera on it or something.
Yeah, this
But,
was 7 years ago. Jeez. Paul, I won't share the audio. I'm just going to share the screen. I don't know if you can see that. Oops. There we go. Is it up?
Yeah, I can see it.
Gosh, 7
Let's
years
see
ago,
about-
man. Crazy.
Oh, it shifts, eh?
That's quick.
Yeah.
Gone.
Oh, it was there? No way.
Gone.
Can you take it back a bit? Can you rewind
Yeah.
it, please, Dan?
Yep.
Let's do that again.
Oops. Not far enough, huh? What the hell? You going to go back? Boom.
There
There you go. Oh, there. Wow.
Right? Seconds,
Oh,
bro.
that was
Just
quick.
snatched it. It didn't even. I mean, it was on a rollover at the time that it happened. It's almost like my GoPro doesn't pick it up either. It happened so quick. You know, this was 1080 at 30 frames per second. Shunk, gone.
Right.
When
Wow,
it
that
rolled
was
over,
quick.
maybe it hit the gator.
Now watch this. You can see the sticker right there. Here, I don't. Can you guys see my mouse on the screen?
Can you make
hang
it
on.
full screen?
Yes, we can see your mouse here.
It should be full screen.
No,
It's not full screen.
no.
Not quite.
Oh, I
Full
have it
screen on
full
mine.
screen. I have it on full screen on mine. You should be able to. No? All right, check this out. I pointed out. It is right there, traveling under the water in the gator's mouth. You can just see the GoPro sticker on top.
Wow.
Okay.
Right there. It's like almost a
Oh, yeah.
reflection. It's
Yeah.
weird, but you can see
Like
the
a light
GoPro
sticker.
sticker traveling under the water in its mouth, and it's just swimming a gigantic circle. I don't realize that. I think the boat's done for at this point. You know, I'm like, oh shit, it's done. I'm just sitting here talking trash to myself now. Like, all right, well, what's interesting is he comes back around, and then he basically lets it go almost where he started off at. You'll see it start. You'll see like a travel line in the water, and then all of a sudden you'll see the boat just come up when he releases it. Hey, look, it's been underwater for a minute, guys.
Yeah.
All right, wait for it. I'll start pointing out off to the right side of the screen when he releases it. You'll see it over here. You'll see like a small travel mark in the water, and then all of a sudden it just pops up. To the right. Let's see here. Okay. God, I didn't realize it was underwater so long. Okay, there it is. See the bubbles? See it coming up? Boop.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's funny.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you see the GoPro mount on top. No camera on it.
Oof.
And you look carefully around before sticking your hand down.
Yep.
Right.
Nope. Didn't even care. All right. You see the teeth marks in the GoPro sticker now?
Yeah.
Both sides of the GoPro sticker. Oh, he was latched
Oh, I
onto it. He
see.
had it pretty good in his mouth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's crunched the front as well, though.
Yeah, there's a big scrape.
Crunched the bow of the boat.
So now you can see
That's
how well
not
they're
waterproof.
sealed. There's a brushless 3S. It goes about 25, 30 miles an hour. So it took on water. I mean, it was enough that
Oh,
it
yeah.
was underwater long enough to take on some water. Anyways, fun stuff.
Oh, fair enough. I wouldn't even fuck around with the notion of gators. I would have been home.
Well, it's not like I want to mess with the gator. I was out there playing my boat. Yeah.
The point where the gator took my boat, I would have been in the car and on the way home. In fact, I probably would have been home as it popped up again.
I'm going to be honest with you. At that time, I was worried about creating a viral video anyway. So I was like sitting there and I'm like, this is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened. It's going to get a lot of views. I'm going to get paid a decent amount for this video, but it sucks because I just lost my favorite RC boat. Like, that's pretty much what was going through my head at that time. That was when
How much was
YouTube
the
would
GoPro?
really start. What's that?
How much was the GoPro? It was expensive.
So 7 years ago, a session 4 would have been like $230 or so.
Oh. And also,
I mean,
7
it
years
sucks,
ago.
but if I told you how much I made on that video, you'd be like, "Oh, that was totally worth it, bro. Don't worry about it."
Oh, okay. Well, you made your money back. That's fair.
Yeah,
enough.
that video made like over $1,400. I want to say.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was when they were still paying YouTubers decent for views. Now you get like a penny.
Yeah, fuck YouTube. Terrible.
Dude, I get 110,000 views a month now on my channel, and I barely make $620 maybe a month. Back then, it was so much easier to make money. It's a lot more difficult now. They've really like dropped the CPM numbers, the clicks per million. They're barely paying anything. You can thank all the large channels for that. Mr. Beast and all them. They had to rectify how they were making their payment plans because otherwise, those
CPM
big
is clicks per
YouTubers-
thousand.
What's that?
The nerd in me has to say clicks per CPM is clicks per thousand.
Then what's the M for? Clicks per million.
It's the Latin.
Yeah, melee.
Which is 1,000. But the thing is, it's an easy mistake to make because of the word million. You know.
Yeah, it's an easy mistake to make, but yeah,
Oh,
CPM.
wow, I learned something today. Thank you for that.
It's the nerd in my head just couldn't let it go.
No, you're good, man. I like to be corrected. Now I know. So from now on, I'll, hey, dude, the more you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been that way. Yeah, I love learning things, man. I'm wrong. I'm known to be wrong sometimes.
I
Don's
love being,
Don's
I'm
good on
being corrected
information.
too. It just doesn't happen very often.
Oh, shit. Now you put me on a task, bro. That was a call out, yo.
Oh, I get told I'm wrong all the time. But that's the thing. If you have an opinion, you're going to be told you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only people
That's
that
the
don't get
cost.
told they're wrong are the people who don't have opinions on things.
So you find out things anyway.
Share
Right
the
back. Let me
link.
use the restroom here.
Let me send this off. I might drive the dune buggy over to Carthage today to pick up that check.
There you go.
Do you think you might put the 360 pole on the back of the car?
On the back or on the front? Because you
On the-
posted on that one video that would be a good
Yeah.
angle out there, out in front of the hood.
Yeah, because I like the 360 in the passenger seat. But the thing is, and with all due respect, it's great to see you driving, but when you're in the way, I can't see everything around, and I wanted to see everything all the way around the car.
Right. So what do you think would be better? Up on top of the roll cage
Yep.
or down in front of the hood?
For 360.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh no, at the back. So you get the front of the car, like that game Outrun in the 80s, where you see the front of the car and then everything around, like that, but 360.
Yeah, I might do that. I really hadn't thought about doing that today. I'm not charging up the 360 or anything.
Okay. All right. You already had the
The
idea.
Fusion. I do kind of want to get one of those 360s. That X4.
I'm
You
saying
know,
that as if I
Matt's-
know. I don't know. But
You know, Matt's testing the X5 apparently right now.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what he told Ron, you know. Ron said, I'm getting the X4. He said, oh, they already sent me the X5 for testing. So,
do you see all the special effects on his video?
Yeah.
On Matt's video? It's good, eh?
oh, that's the problem. It's all AI. It's not real.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's what they call what is it, Fugazi?
I'm not a big fan of the sky replacement. It was kind of interesting that you can do that, but I wasn't a big fan of it.
I think there's a place in my heart for it. Replacing the sky.
I just don't like the fringe around trees and stuff like that it adds.
Yeah, it does make you feel as if
You can
you're
do
on
you can do a
acid.
much more accurate sky replacement, say in After Effects or something.
Is Chris still in here?
Oh, so it isn't an After Effect then?
I don't
That's-
know if he is or not.
I'm not sure if that was in the software that he's using to load the 360 or not.
Oh. I just assumed it was.
I just know that the fringe on the trees were really bad, and that kind of stuff just kind of
It ruins it, doesn't it? The effect, yeah.
pokes me in the eyes.
Just freeze? Or did I freeze? I froze.
You did
You're
freeze.
not frozen now.
Is it good? Could you
No,
hear everything I just
said-
said?
No, but we said everything we had to say about you while you were frozen.
Oh, cool. This says unstable network. It's doing this again. Why?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for a second there, you were completely Japanese and yelling about
Oh.
Godzilla for a second.
Right. I don't understand
But
why.
now,
though.
now you're synced up good.
Good. Okay. Well, Chris, I was gonna say Chris sent me some pretty good jerky. We're both jerky fans. I found a place that sells 10-ounce bags of jerkies for $3.99. So
Damn,
Chris,
that's cheap.
right? So Chris, if you come down, bro, I'm gonna get you a box of jerky.
Not
and
bad.
send
All
it
right,
home
now
with
do you like your jerky moist or dry?
I actually like both.
I
I'm a
prefer the
fan of both.
dry. I prefer like a really good dried jerky.
Chris does too. He sent me a big container of dry jerky, which is it's good because I think it holds more flavor. To be honest with you, especially with the dry rubs that they put on them. I'm a huge fan of dry rub versus sauce driven, which is what these ones are. They're basically sauce. You know,
Mhm.
I do prefer dry rub. However, my mouth, I've broken my jaw like 3 or 4 times, so
So it gets kind of wary.
it pops and cracks and it starts to
'cause-
hurt if I'm having
yeah.
to chew too hard. Yeah. So yeah, too many fights at a young age.
See, I don't chew when I get like really
Much time
crispy
on your knees.
jerky. Just bust a piece off, and just kind of suck on it for a while. I know, clip that.
till it's soft. Right. I like to do that too. You kind of suck on it till it gets a little soft, and then you start to chew on it.
Yeah, I knew right when I was saying. That's why I was like, yeah, I clip that. I kind of ruined the end of your take there. So
Let's go weird with it. Come on, man.
you ever do deer jerky?
I do actually. I like bison and venison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you
I-
go on,
It's a good meat for doing jerky because it's so lean.
Gator
There's
too.
that-
I've had gator jerky. I've had it all.
yeah,
Look,
there's
I
that
had
company.
salmon jerky just a while back,
Ooh.
There's that
and
company
I'd never
on
heard it. I was like,
Amazon.
salmon jerky? Is that just like smoked salmon or something? No, it was like beef jerky, but it was salmon.
Justin, adults
There-
are talking. Shut up.
No,
We're talking about beef
No.
jerky. This is a serious topic, Justin. Unless we
I
have
know. I
something
was gonna say
worthwhile
there's
to contribute.
there's a
Yeah,
company
have you
on
Have you guys heard of
Amazon.
Slim Jims?
No, there's a company on Amazon that sells all the exotic meats and jerky. Like you can get kangaroo and all the different exotic type meats.
Justin, slap into a Slim
They're making fun of you, Justin.
Pigeon.
Share the meat.
Yeah,
You know, I wasn't the one sitting there talking about, sucking things and my jaw hurts.
Hey.
Justin, I have had some of that stuff. Yes, and the store, there's I think it's Kramer's Meat Market down here in town. It's old butcher place, but they have some of that on the counter. Some of that exotic meat jerky, like the emu and the gator.
Yeah,
and-
they get.
Oh shit!
They-
I've never had emu. That sounds interesting.
There's
Can
a
you-
company on Amazon. that
emu
you can
is
buy-
very
they'll
much
sell
like
you a
beef.
stick of each.
Is it?
My sister-in-law got bit by a tick, and she developed, it's not Lyme disease, it's the other thing that you can get, but she's got an allergy to any mammal meat. She'll break out in hives and stuff if she eats cow or anything like that. Oddly enough, though, she had a McDonald's hamburger and it didn't affect her.
But it's
But-
100% beef.
Yeah, that's safe.
Yeah.
Lot.
But she's having to go on just fish and bird, and she found out that emu is very much like beef.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It is a red
More like
meat,
a-
yeah.
Like a turkey.
Well, that's
Well, yeah.
like Dan, something that we don't get to do here, but they do in Idaho where Sean is the sandhill cranes. He said tastes and it looks just like steak.
Oh yeah,
And
you can't fuck around with those here, boy. That's
Sean said
prison
that
time.
Sean said that they taste just like a good T-bone, man.
That's
They
wild.
call
Yeah,
them ribeye of the sky.
you're not even supposed to touch them if they come up to you. That's grounds for immediate prison time.
No, they can hunt them in Idaho, and he said that's some of the best meat. He said it tastes just like a good old steak.
Isn't it our
Huh.
state bird or something? Or they're like super endangered here? I can't remember which
No, they
one it
used
is,
to
but-
be endangered, and now they're
Right.
not endangered, but they just never took them off the
Dude, they tell you
touch
if you're in a
list.
they tell you if you're in a car, they have the right of way. You're not allowed to shoo them off the road. You have to wait them out. You can't get close
And
to them
those
or touch them.
motherfuckers will stand there and
Stand
stare
in
at
the
you.
road. Yep, they'll
Just
look
like-
at you
Like, bitch, hit me. I dare
Just like Canadian geese, they come walking in front of your car with their noses in the air, just like, I'm walking. It's like, I hate Canadian geese.
But
they're
try
dicks.
bald eagle jerky. Or maybe
Whoa.
maybe
Bald eagle
um,
jerky is pretty good. It tastes almost like condor.
Whoa.
Yeah, condor jerky. Oh my god, I bet that's delicious.
Or toucan turkey or jerky. Yeah.
Wait a minute
I'm
now. You guys are
joking,
trying
Dan.
these. What?
I'm just being.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
I don't think
Yanks
American
going,
eagle jerky would be good. American eagles are basically vultures with a good press release.
That and they're like solid
got-
muscle.
Yeah,
the
if
thing
you've
is,
ever
bald eagles, they have got good PR guys apparently.
if you've ever
bald eagles.
watched bald eagles, just how they interact and stuff, they are opportunistic. They will eat roadkill. They're vultures.
Monsters. Mm. I saw a pigeon having sex.
They
with
look
its
very
dead
majestic
partner
when they
in the
catch a
road once.
fish.
You saw what? A pigeon doing what?
Yeah, I saw a pigeon having sex with its dead partner in the road once, and that kind of just set me up for the what the bird's brain is thinking about. You know, well, where they are. You know,
Does that
because
say
its
right
partner
here,
had
Phil?
been squashed
Oh, yeah,
from
this
its
is
waist
one here.
upwards was squished, and its mate was making good use of the back end, which wasn't squashed. Put it
Does
that
that should
way.
say monkey in the back? That says monkey. Bro, I see monkey.
Where
Oh, it says
The
smoke.
one
Smoky.
I see.
Oh,
Okay,
smoky, yeah.
Smoke. Oh, I
There's
saw was
no
the
in
monkey.
there.
No, there is. Look, M. Oh, okay, I just didn't see the partial S that was.
Yeah,
being cut
monkey would
off
have
there.
an N between the O and the K.
I was like, "Fuck, bro, get me some monkey jerky right now. I'll eat the fuck out that chimp."
Oh, here. I think
Eat the,
this is one here.
eat the chimp.
Yeah, buffalo, elk, alligator, venison, wild boar, alligator.
Yeah, these we
beef
have a lot of
buffalo,
these in
camel.
Florida. We have these in Florida. The Love's gas stations has all
Yep.
these ones.
Oh, otter
Yep.
jerky. Yeah.
Those are the kind I've
Yeah.
had. I've had ostrich and I've had the alligator.
This one's pretty cool. It's like a bunch of different flavors of.
But
pork
I
and
don't.
beef
They
jerky.
don't taste.
Turkey.
None of these
No, they
taste
don't-
really great to me. They're too soft and they just taste like they've been super processed.
It just tastes like Slim Jims to me. No, I
Right.
didn't get any flavor differentiation or texture
Yeah.
differentiation.
So can you get beaver jerky?
He likes that hard
I'm
stuff.
sure you can get any kind of jerky, bro.
I'm not sure if beaver would make a good jerky because of all the fat content.
And all the hairs around
If
it.
you have too much fat in it, it goes rancid.
Rancid. Yep. That's what I used to run into when I would make jerky. Was like you get these fatty pieces, man,
Mhm.
and some of them you'd think they're gonna come out great, and they just come out rancid.
And you gotta stay away anything that has any type of marbling, you just have to, you know what, that I'm cooking that. That's not
Yep.
going jerky.
Yep.
Okay. There's a sausage that they make in South Africa, and I buy it quite a bit on the market. And what it is, it's quite slim. Apparently, it starts off as a regular type of sausage, you know, kind of finger size, and it ends up, I guess,
like
smaller than a Slim
He
Jim,
didn't.
right?
No, he didn't
In
say
size.
horse size.
When you slice it, it's lovely. It's because it's kind of quite rough in texture, but it's some of the best tasting stuff I've ever had.
Is it like
In
a
a very-
chorizo?
No, it's yes, but a lot drier. It's jerky dry, as in as dry as the dry
Interesting.
jerky
That
is,
might be monkey
and
jerky.
it's a sausage. And it's not monkey; it's South African stuff. But it's very, very nice. I'll try
Well,
and
I'm gonna
find
have to look
some
it
online.
up.
It's
Yeah,
bamboo
well, I'll
jerky.
try and. Let me see if I can have a look.
Yeah, you might be buying us some and sending it, bud. To be honest with you,
Some red ass bamboo.
dude, I'll eat the fuck out of chimp's booty, bro, if it tastes good.
Drill War?
Oh, yeah,
DROEWORS.
that sounds familiar. Show me. Is there a picture?
He gets it from the
Justin.
black market butcher.
Wards,
why-
yeah, Wards.
Is there a picture? You don't know how tempting it is now just to show you a dick pic.
Right, I know. Yeah.
Is this it?
And I'll go. Yeah, that seems familiar. Yes, yes, that's the one.
See, I like Don.
Is that it?
Oh, hang on. Let me. Yes,
God.
it is. That's it. That's exactly what it is. Yep,
That looks
and
good,
it's
but
delicious.
questionable.
Looks like
It is
dog penis.
delicious.
It looks like dog.
Just like dog penis. Yep, and it's wonderful.
all the penis, all the time in my mouth.
All right. I got a meeting. I got to go.
All right,
Been
good luck,
fun.
Don.
Is
Have a
it
nice
from
day.
Kyrgyzstan? Dude, I was watching these two Arab dudes on from, well, fuck, where were they from?
Arabia?
They were from the United Arab Emirates, and they were watching Dictator, the movie. Oh my god, dude, oh, shit was hilarious. These guys were laughing their asses off.
It's a great movie.
It's funny.
That-
You
that
have to.
Borat-
Sacha Baron Cohen is unique, man. He is a unique individual. He is somebody who just doesn't give a fuck. Like
Oh, Borat was hilarious.
Borat was funny. I think The Dictator, in my opinion, was better than Borat. Borat was like a great starting point for him, but he also did one where he plays a Russian. I don't remember what it was. Did you guys see that one where he plays like some Russian co-op dude who, like,
I don't think I've seen
takes
that one.
Americanized people and teaches them the Russian ways? It was really crazy stuff, bro.
I like the one where he plays
Well,
that European gay guy. That's quite
Well,
funny.
you know what? You know what was crazy about Borat though in the movies was that a lot of the video where you see him fucking with people in public and stuff, that was all real. People had no
Oh, yeah.
idea that was being filmed.
But you can tell
And
it's
so
real
you're
sense.
getting genuine reactions for a movie, which was awesome. Like when he was going up into the subway and he was kissing people and shit. Like that was genuine reactions from people.
Justin, are you gonna be here for a while? I gotta run.
Yeah, you're good. Good.
I'll make you a host so you can shut it down when you want to.
All right.
I think
No,
my roommate is using lots of bandwidth right now to do something because I keep getting
I'll see
low
everybody
bandwidth
tonight.
warnings.
Grandma's boy? What are you talking about? Your mom?
Yeah,
He
your
said
mom. bro.
my roommates are using the internet.
No, I have a fucking roommate who's from let's see, where is he from? It's
What?
his name is-
Just an exchange program or something?
yeah, we take a lot of college students here and give them somewhere cheap to stay until they find their own place or they stay for a while, whatever. But he's from Ghana, I want to say Ghana. His name's Sylvester. He's cool. But yeah, I think he uses a lot of bandwidth back there. I don't know what he's doing, downloading crazy shit or watching multi streams. I don't know what he's doing.
All of a sudden you hear in the background, "Death to America."
No, he's Haitian. He's like Haitian. I think he's from Ghana, something like that. He's straightforward though. He's a good student, man. He's solid guy. One of these times I'll take him out. We're gonna do a jet ski day.
Do you, I mean, besides like them paying to stay there, do you guys like get money for the exchange program, or is that just something you
No,
people-
we just like to offer the students somewhere cheap to stay. So we only charge them $500 a month to stay here. It's cheap. You're not
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
find
that's
that
cheap
anywhere
as
else.
shit.
That's internet, nice neighborhood, 5-6 car driveway, 3-car garage. What do you want to do? I mean,
That's pretty ghetto for Florida.
Yeah, horrible. I know.
What are you saying? What was that? Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay. He's like, he goes to that dude's mansion. He's got a bunch of Ferraris. He's like, yeah, it's pretty ghetto for Miami.
That reminds me, Justin, are you going with us?
But what?
So I'm planning the Sand Key trip down to the Keys so that we can go
man, I've always
snorkel
wanted to go to the Keys.
We're gonna snorkel the Drytuga. It's like 21 miles of the most beautiful reef you've ever seen, bro.
How
Underwater
far?
reef.
How long before you guys do that? Or when is
So
it planned
I'm
for?
planning it probably by the end of July, I would say.
That might give me enough time to plan something. Yeah.
You would need to rent a jet ski, or if we decided to do this all as a group, man, it might be better just to take the tourist thing out there. It'd be like probably, I don't know, $55 a person, with 1 hour of snorkeling at 2 different locations. So a half hour here, half hour there. And trust me, man, it's anybody can snorkel it. A half hour is a lot of time, bro, in the water, to be honest with you. If you're checking stuff out, you just, be smart with your time management. And I think it's free drinks, free mimosas the whole time if you pay for the $55. If you pay the $34, then it's just equipment rental and that's it. If you want to get, a little trashy
Yeah, let
and
me
have a
know
good
how
time,
much
bro.
altogether it's going to cost.
Yeah, well, so it's an 8-hour drive, no matter how you look at it. Even for you, bro, it's probably 7 hours, regardless.
What's a
and-
mimosa? Is that a drink?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's definitely a drink.
What's up, Nunya?
But it's 8 hours there, which means we're gonna stay the night, right, at a hotel, which is probably gonna be the equivalent of $250. We could either pitch in and get one room with 2 beds, or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, I'm
Um,
totally spooning with you. That's one
Oh,
bed.
bro, yeah, I'm telling my girlfriend straight up, this is happening. So,
She gets the
alright.
couch.
Alright. Right. Sorry, bitch.
You
Love
get
you,
the
but-
pull-out bed.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I'm just saying to keep cost down and efficiency reasons, obviously, right? If you wanted to do that, as opposed to buying 2 different hotels and so on and so forth. But totally worth it, dude. I want to do it with the jet ski just because then I'm on my own time and I can snorkel for hours. But at the same time, I'm also like, dude, is it worth it? There's no real boat ramps I can park at down there. I'm gonna have to basically park somewhere way up the key and then walk all the way back to the boat ramp to get my jet ski to go out. And so it almost seems like it's more beneficial just to take one of the tours out there and do the snorkeling than it is, to do my own thing.
Well,
But
I mean,
still,
if you take in the tour too, they're gonna know where to go and all
right.
that. Like,
Well,
if
I've
I'm
already
familiar
mapped
with-
it, dude. I've already marine mapped the entire thing myself because I'm efficient, bro. I don't know if you know this, but Dan is motherfucking Mr. Efficient. So as you can see, I've already marine mapped all the waypoints from the starting spot. I'm all in, dude. I'm there, buddy.
Quick top tip as well. You can get these cases. I'm sure you know anyway. You can get these cases that you drop your phone into, and then you seal them up with a little kind of things that you press.
I have
and
3 of them.
They're brilliant, absolutely
Yeah.
waterproof.
so you
Super
can take pictures underwater and shit.
I've got
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them.
There you go.
But
Cool.
but I also roll with my GoPro, man. Like I'm just gonna GoPro
Dude,
at
I do a
4K.
ghetto. I just put it in a Ziploc bag.
That,
Well, that's
that
pretty
works.
much what this is.
That works until you get like 4 meters below and it just implodes the bag. Yeah,
the trick is
it's
to take the air out.
but like I said,
Vacuum seal your phone.
well, I'm learning now, Justin. As I get older, things that used to have not affect me as a kid affect me now. These are things I'm learning. Like I can hold my breath now for 2 minutes and 31 seconds, right? That's what I've managed to get up to.
That's good.
Okay. Which is fairly good. The average person can only do like 40 seconds to like a minute and a half. if
Dude,
they're
20
lucky.
seconds and I'm running for the damn floaties.
That's my point though, is like I realized for free diving, you have to be able to interact long enough to be underwater 15 feet or so and enjoy yourself and see creatures and interact with things. To do that, 30 seconds of air isn't going to get you anywhere, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And if you're snorkeling the surface, well, guess what? Everything is 10 to 15 feet below you. So your interaction with the life out there is going to be shit. If you can't hold your breath, bro, you're toast.
I have actually perfected snorkeling and be able to stick my finger up a girl's butt within 15 seconds.
Nice.
It can be done.
The trick is as well, I will say, and I haven't done an awful lot of snorkeling, but the physical exertion thing, if you move nice and economically through the water without putting too much energy in, you'll get a lot more time. So that's the thing.
So the deeper you go, the less current you're fighting, right? So it's actually easier. The faster you can get down, which is why people wear weights, right? The faster you can get below the surface, the easier it is to hold your breath for longer periods of time and interact with things.
Yeah,
right?
it went quiet after
The
that,
other
damn it.
the other secret is hold your breath for as long as you can, and when you think you can't hold it anymore, that's when you exhale.
Right.
Don't breathe in yet. Just exhale. It's your body going, okay, we need to let this out. It's not your body going, oh, you need to take a breath right now. It's just telling you, hey, you've held this breath for
In
too
fact,
long.
the urge when you're holding your breath is actually a carbon dioxide thing rather than a lack of oxygen thing.
Correct.
So that's why you need to get rid. But the thing is, when you take a dirty great lungful of air, of course, you become more buoyant as well. So the weight gives you that more neutral buoyancy. You don't have to keep fighting your buoyancy everywhere, you know.
Which is why they wear the counterweights.
Yeah.
So neck and feet, they do neck ones and they do feet ones. I don't know if I would do wrist, but they definitely do the feet weights.
And that's quite a nice time.
I don't have a problem with it anymore. My girlfriend's struggling to stay underwater for any period of time. It got to a point where I can hold my breath, get under the water, pull myself under rocks, interact with crabs and things, and then
oh, he's breaking up again.
like,
Man is trying to shut him down.
it's probably time to start. Like, I'm not rushed, but if you that's good and bad in its own way. Like, then you want to push the boundaries of things, but it just gives you a good idea. Like, all right, I'm 45 seconds in, right? This gives me a little better judgment time as to when it's time to start looking at the surface.
Dan was talking and fast forward. That was hilarious.
Oh, did I just sketch again?
Yeah, you like froze up
We
and then
lost you for a little while.
your
It's okay.
speech went into
dude,
like 2x mode. It was hilarious.
I don't know what he's doing back there. And you guys keep doing that too. All of a sudden you'll slow down and then it'll be like, and I'm like, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was like, you got to hold your breath and then you got to put your snorkel straight up your ass and then put it in.
Fuck you. That's funny. That is funny. So yeah, man, if you're down for that, bro, seriously,
yeah, that sounds like fun.
Start setting some stuff up. So the Dry Tugas is actually where a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed. So, and they did that because when the tide goes down, almost all the coral is exposed, which gives you landmass to walk around on. So all those islands in the Dead Sea Man's Chest movie was all basically filmed out there.
Okay.
Pretty neat stuff, man.
Looks awesome.
What happened to Joe and Mark?
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Mark's just listening, taking notes.
The penis
I'm
enters
of the
the rectum.
Men have a lot more ability to keep their breath or hold their breath because they do a lot more practicing on muff diving.
Yeah,
there it is. And there it
you
is.
got to, bro. Got to get a decent duration of time in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they want to sit on your face. You can't struggle.
Yeah.
You got to get them off, or you got to take a breath.
I mean, if you can draw breath through your ears, it's useful.
That's it. You got a lot of ears.
God, I love jerky, bro.
Can you actually get pigeon jerky, or is it just a Ken Heron thing?
You can
Yes,
get
it
pigeon
is.
jerky.
Why the hell would you want to eat pigeon?
It's
Yeah.
not so much the town pigeons, but the countryside ones, the wood pigeons. They were eaten a lot, especially here. People would make like pigeon pie and all sorts. They were just considered another game bird.
Wood pigeon, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say back in the day they used to just eat them.
Yeah.
When you couldn't find food, it was scarce during the wintertime and stuff like that, bro. They'd shoot birds all day and eat them. I'm sure it's not a very desirable meal. Can't be much meat. You got to kill like 20 of them to make one person happy.
Well, it's like pheasants, isn't pheasants like a really small amount of meat?
Well, pheasants supply a reasonable amount of meat compared to a pigeon.
The pheasant is
Yeah.
quite big compared with the pigeon.
Right.
Yeah.
A
It's quite a
quail,
bit of breast meat.
different. A
That
quail,
might be what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of as a quail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quails are tiny.
I
I've
mean,
ever had
only about
pheasant or
half.
quail. I haven't had pheasant or quail.
Quail eggs are quite
Pheasant's
nice,
interesting.
but you have
I
to
don't-
cook 2 dozen of them to make a meal with them.
I was gonna say, Mark, I don't understand because they sell them down here everywhere, bro. They're just really expensive. It's kind of silly because to me it just tastes like a normal egg. I don't understand the whole
Mm.
quail egg thing. I just don't get it. I don't. It's like okay, it's just a tiny little egg.
Yeah,
Tastes the same though as you think as a regular
Yeah,
egg?
I haven't noticed any difference.
Not
Now I
a lot
would
of
like.
it's not a lot of difference. A duck egg tastes a little bit stronger.
I would like to try an ostrich egg, but if you see what those sell for, bro, you'd be like, I'm good. I don't ever need to try that.
They're fucking huge.
Yeah, but
Mm.
still, I want to try one.
I
But
think they
not
usually-
not for $4,000. I don't.
What?
Wait, that's how much they want for one egg?
Yeah,
I never had them, but my dad used to get them free from this chick all the time. My dad
dude,
used to eat
just
'em.
the cracked shells, emptied, sell for a couple $1,000s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, my dad used to get them free
Really?
from this chick in California. He used to have an ostrich farm. She used to just give them to my dad all the time. I
Are
never
you sure
ate
that-
one, but my
Is
dad
that
used
price modeling? Is that not with baby ostrich in it or something? Maybe.
No, man, that's legit what the eggs cost on a normal basis.
Okay.
If the whole thing is here, right, is they don't lay very often. Okay.
Okay.
So they're a rare commodity already, right? And these people collect them and then they have to keep them good long enough for somebody to buy it, right?
Right.
So it just, without incubating it or making it an actual bird, that's the next difficult task. You know, you almost have to kill it and keep it weirdly alive and good.
Right.
Doesn't that make sense? It's like,
Yeah, so
It's-
its expense is down to its lack of availability.
correct. So the rarity of it is what drives the price through the roof.
Hmm.
Yeah, this lady that lived in California, she had a massive ostrich and emu farm,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like she had probably 500 or 600 ostriches. Like it was massive, and she used to give my dad those eggs all the time. And then my dad would, my one aunt would get a couple eggs from her every once in a while, and then she'd paint them, like drain them out and paint them.
Yeah. Emu eggs aren't as expensive. You can get those pretty easily. But like this guy here, I'm calling bullshit. This guy's selling these on eBay. He says fresh ostrich eggs up to 3 pounds or more, $30 a piece, $6.70. I mean, if he's actually selling them for that, that's crazy. I would assume once you purchase it, the dude's profile is just going to disappear and he's already got your money. He looks like he's from India. So
Yes, yeah. You know, emus themselves are kind of friendly. They're nice, aren't they?
they can actually be really fucking evil.
They can peck a bit. They can.
They're kind of dickheads, bro. Have you ever walked into an emu cage? They'll size you up real fast, man. They're
Yeah.
dicks.
Well, they can be. I think the word "can" is doing a lot of work there. They don't necessarily have to be kind of angry birds, but they can be.
It seems like everyone I've ever seen like hisses and tries to like get all big and fluff feathers on you and try to push you around the paddock.
Oh yeah,
You know,
they do that, don't they?
Yeah, they're very dominant birds, is what it comes down to, I think.
Do
Yeah,
you
they
have
fluff themselves.
shops
Sorry, go
over
on.
there where you can like they're run by Africans for Africans and they sell the food that you would normally eat in Africa?
Yeah.
Whoa, wait,
Well,
what?
we have some shops like that here where
Well,
they're
you're
basically
a lot closer to Africa.
yeah,
Mm.
and like they sell snails that they eat in Africa, and
Big
Jesus,
ones.
they're like 6 to 10 inches in diameter. They're huge.
What the fuck?
I've never seen anything like that.
They're,
I've
they're
never seen
land
that here
snails,
either.
aren't they? They call them.
Honestly, half
Yeah.
that shit probably wouldn't be allowed to get through customs, to be honest with you.
We get a lot of Haitian food here and Jamaican style food. There's people that cook that kind of stuff, but we don't have anything even close to that resembles what you're talking about. You can go get oxtail and they make
Oh, yeah.
really good food. It's just
Ooh, I
super
went to
spicy.
Oxtail's really nice.
I went with some friends one time to Orlando. I think it was Orlando, to the Bob Marley restaurant, and had I tried the oxtail. It's pretty good.
Mm. Yeah, they stew it so it becomes like pulled meat, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot
Kind
of
of
bone,
rich.
but and a lot
Yeah,
of
it
jelly.
was.
But yeah,
It kind of tasted
meat
like
was-
a good what do you want to call it?
Beef bourguignon?
like a beef. What do you do in a fucking? God damn, I can't
Beef,
think of it.
beef bourguignon, you know, where it's all kind of
Yeah, like kind of just
dark,
falls apart.
dark and
shreds.
stewed. Yeah, yeah.
Can't think
What,
of the damn
dude? A
name.
roast?
Yeah,
Hot
roast.
roast.
I'm just having a
Yeah.
damn mind blank.
You're
Yeah,
killing me,
kind of
kid. That's all I make
tasted
here.
like a pot roast. Yeah.
Hot roast, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it did have a different taste, but it wasn't bad.
Or
It was
super slow cooked, low heat smoked. Then they fall apart like, bro.
Yeah, I don't
get me
even know if
started.
the whole snail thing. I don't even know if they would allow those in the U.S. because that'd have to go through customs and shit.
Customs, yeah, man,
And
that would be
they're
rough
kinda-
getting them.
Yeah, they're kind of finicky about like stuff from other countries.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just found it. Go ahead, sorry.
that's why you can't get monkey meat over there, in it, because they banned it from coming in.
Can't get monkey
Yeah.
meat here, or dog's head, or monkey chimp brains, or any of that cool
Dog's
stuff.
head.
What? You think I'm kidding, bro? That is a legit meal. They
Oh,
eat
I
that
know.
shit in Japan,
in
bro.
Vietnam and Korea and
Yeah,
places like that. Yeah.
bro. Blech.
No, the dog trade is actually really big in China.
I thought
I
they were.
was-
Go ahead.
I was watching a video, and dude, there was just hundreds of German shepherds in these cages, and they were killing them
It's
for meat.
terrifying. Hate it.
Yeah.
I
They breed them the same way as we breed cows and sheep.
I mean, that's just, hey, look, man, we all were raised in different areas. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just because it's this way here doesn't mean it's that way there. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I have to understand those things. That's their culture.
Well, look at India, right? They would look at us weird because we eat cows, and they consider those sacred.
Dude,
Yeah,
they cook
But to us, that's normal.
full goats and the head and all and set it down and chop the brain open and let everybody dig in with a spoon. I'm like,
Yeah. That's
Well,
fucking
what's
gross.
there is a curry in India called nihari, and that is made with sheep's brains.
That's fucking disgusting.
it just threw up in the back of my mouth.
And you
twice.
know how many like weird diseases have come from eating brains too?
Bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like a bunch of weird ass diseases.
There's a whole culture behind it, man. They think it actually makes them smarter to ingest brains.
Mm.
There was
Yeah,
actually
Zombies, they eat brains all the time.
Mm-hmm.
there was an island that was actually owned by the Australian government, and there was a tribe on it. I was watching a thing the other day. There was a tribe living there, and they were getting this weird like disease and shit. And it turned out that when a family member died,
They would eat
the,
It's like
them.
mad cows.
women,
Yeah,
it
mad
was
cows.
part of, yeah, it was part of the culture for the women to actually eat the brain of the deceased relative. And it was and only women and children were really getting the disease in the village. And it turned out it was because the women were sneaking off little pieces for the kids to try. And it wasn't custom for the men to eat it. And so a lot of the women and children were getting it. But then the Australian government figured out about it. And they actually went and told the tribe, like, we're banning this on this island. You're no longer allowed to do this. And this is what's
Yeah.
causing this weird disease.
Yeah,
And
so
the
you guys
tribe
stop getting
actually listened to them, and the disease ended up going away.
mad cow disease for people.
Pretty much
Yes.
that's what it was.
Some form of encephalitis. Yeah.
Because what it was doing is it was making them for like, it would take about a year to kill them, but the whole time they would just get into like these laughing fits and shit. And it was like a mad cow disease for humans. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
nasty.
Damn, we really down to 5 people, bro?
Yeah, I think they got scared off when I was talking about putting uncles and aunts.
Nunya!
Was it?
Wow, it's just been Nunya the entire time talking shit to us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll blow the chat up, dude. Nunya will just keep going and going in the chat. But he'll keep what little viewership you have left engaged.
Yeah, Nunya's lighting this up right now.
The other 4 people are probably us with the chat pulled up.
Yeah, right. Why are we here? No, it's more or less. Dan's on panel. Let's fucking go, people. Get out.
I was already dead before you came in. Nobody
know.
was really talking.
I know.
Dude,
I
Paul will have 25, 30 people sometimes watching, and there'll only be like 5 people actually chatting.
Yeah. And
He's
then
got a
he'll
lot
close,
of people that are
he'll close
lurkers.
it down when he's got 30 people in.
Well, fuck, we gotta
And,
start talking
and he'll
shit.
carry
then.
on when there's only like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Well, he gets a lot of people lurking that never say anything.
Yeah,
But
let's
think
start
about that.
talking shit.
Imagine if you were like live streaming as long as Paul has been doing, or any of us, right? Imagine how many people have actually sat and watched your show for like years and never said shit in your chat. But
Happens
they
all the
always
time.
watch you.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is you'll never know that they were like they've been like a fan of you this entire time, because they've never
it
said
doesn't give
anything.
you a list of who's watching, only if they're in the chat. Yeah.
Right. So you could have somebody that's been a huge fan of yours for years, but just doesn't have the confidence to chat. They might,
I hope nobody's a fan of mine, because I'm just a regular dude. I hate it when people look at you that way.
I hate looking at you.
I know. I don't like your fucking face either, which is why I always take Big Spoon.
I'm a big fan of the way you can fix motorbikes.
Well, thank you.
You want to come over here and rebuild my FJ 1100 for me?
That sounds fun. I'm mad at myself because, to be honest with you, I thought drones were going to really take off. So 8 years ago, when I started to really, because I was in drones since 2012, right?
Yeah.
I didn't start my YouTube channel until like 4 or 5 years after my journey had already begun with drones. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start posting this stuff. Maybe people want to watch it. I don't know. So I started doing that. And I blew up real fast. I made it to like 3,000 subs really fast, right? And I was like, oh, wow, there's a whole audience of people that are enjoying this. And then YouTube, after I hit like 4,500 subs, was like, hey, we're going to offer you monetization. Do you want it? I was like, well, this could really pay pretty good, and I'm having fun. I'm helping people, and it's enjoyable, right? I was going to post the content anyways for free, so why not get paid for it?
Yeah.
So then I did that, and then my journey from 5,000 to 10,000 was the roughest journey ever, because we went through all that Logan Paul bullshit. Then we went through Logan Paul bullshit again. And then the adpocalypse happened. And every time I cleared 10,000 subs, they kicked me back again and dropped me back to like 7,000. Like, oh, all these views are fake. It's like, well, how are they fake? People obviously watched my channel, you know, and they just cleared all these subs and views off. And I was like, this is nuts, man. This is stupid. I almost gave up a couple times. And then finally I cleared 10 and it let me stay there. And after that, it was like working my way up to 20, took, the next 3 or 4 years, and now, we've surpassed that, and YouTube's not messing with me anymore. But the point I'm trying to make is I made it to 10,000 subs on just drone content, and then it died and it became stagnant. And I thought to myself, I'm like, fuck, man, I've put all this time and energy into this one thing that went nowhere and is continuing to go nowhere. It's great, we have a fan base of people talking about it, but why did I just invest all this time, all these years into something that I thought was going to create a decent revenue stream for me and then didn't, right? So then I started asking myself, like, all these, all this government overreach is happening. People are bailing out of the drone scene. It's probably time to change what I'm doing right now. That decision was made 3 years ago. I decided I'm changing up. I know I can work on motorcycles and scooters. I can make how-to videos. I guarantee you I can switch my channel from tech related to automotive if I just stay at it. So I stayed at it for a year, and then it happened. And all of a sudden my growth started to go real fast from there. And I realized, man, I'm mad at myself now that I chose to put all that time, effort, and energy into something that was never going to pay me back any kind of return other than awesome friendships. Nothing against you guys. I love all you. But I was also really trying to make ends meet at the time because I was dealing with a lot of health conditions and things like that, right? And so this was my way to make money while I was dealing with all that health stuff. So when people are like, oh, you're walking away, always only doing it for the money. Yes and no. I still enjoy the hobby, or I wouldn't partake in it, right? Like, that's the reality of it. If I didn't enjoy it, I would stop doing it. What's that?
Here's the thing, Dan, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would agree with your characterization of time wasted. Now, of course, it would be fair comment of you to say, what the fuck do I know? But you said it helped you out, and you were dealing with health conditions, and the focus of the FPV videos and all this sort of thing gleaned you friends and experience and expertise, right? I don't see that as a waste at all. And I'm not trying to blow sunshine up your ass. I just think that I'm not sure I would call that a waste if I was in your shoes.
Here's the thing. Maybe it wasn't quite the right word to use. I'm not saying it was a waste. Okay. I'm saying I had fun. I enjoyed myself. I met people. I learned a lot of new things, right? I also taught a lot of things to people, and that was all enjoyable. Otherwise, like I said, I wouldn't have done it, right? If something's not fun, how long do you do it for? Do you continue doing it, or do you just become miserable over it, right?
Well, this is the thing about... Oh, go ahead.
I started to walk away from it when people started to become backstabby, right? Throwing each other under the bus, turning each other in, doing anything to get ahead. And I realized that's never been me. I'm not trying to be that. I will make it on my own merits doing my own thing, right? I'm not trying to use somebody else's fame or defame this person or throw them under the bus to get ahead. When the community became that, Dan became a different person. And everybody
saw a little bit of that. I've only ever seen a little bit of that, and that's just human nature. You're always going to get some kind of...
Well, you're going to get that in any group on YouTube.
Right.
No matter what genre you are in YouTube.
It was, Justin, it was fine when it was just YouTube. But
that's the thing is you kind of started in a category that was new, where that's kind of hard to do these days because everybody's into gaming, everybody's into computers, everybody's into... There's a lot of people that have been into shit way before YouTube. So it's hard to come up to get into a community of something new that's never been on YouTube anymore. You know
I agree, Justin, but when my personal people around me started to become that, my circle got small really fast. Like,
oh yeah, I feel you on that.
Drastically fast, bro. I started cutting people out of my life. When it went from being a YouTube issue to people around me, that's when I was like, okay, I'm done.
And sometimes I feel bad for these new people coming into the community that like start up these YouTube channels into the drone community part of the YouTube, because they're so like invested in it and so enthusiastic about it, but I've seen that it just doesn't go anywhere. And it's just like, it's almost like 10 out of 10 channels almost don't do anything these days.
Well, but that was the thing, and that's what I was trying to emphasize on, Justin. That's exactly where I was going with that. Was like, it's not a waste of time. I had a wonderful time doing it, right? But overall, the changes that took place in the community is what really drove me out of it, right? I just was tired. I was tired. I was waking up exhausted of interaction with people that aren't really on my side, or they just say that they are, and then you find out later on they've talked trash about you. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, all right, well, dude, I can go do my own thing. I don't have to deal
Yeah.
with this shit.
I mean, I agree with that. If you don't like it anymore, there is no point being involved in it at all. I mean, what's
I
the point?
enjoy droning, and I'm
Mm.
still gonna keep doing it. It just I don't have to have the same community outreach that I was going for. I don't need this. I was doing it to help everybody else. You know, I was putting out these original videos and showing you guys how to change your firmware and showing you how to make these drones better. And you know, but if the return value from that is I feel like shit, then
That's not worth it.
Like, and
why?
I've said the same thing as you. Like, I appreciate all the friends I've made on here and
Mhm.
stuff, but I kind of wish I would have got into gaming instead of drones first,
I
because I
real
probably would be twice the size right now.
Right, and that's how I felt
Because
about motorcycles.
I feel like I wasted 2.5 years doing
Y-
drone shit when it didn't go anywhere. Because my whole point of coming on YouTube was to try to make money and grow. And the drone shit is hard, especially these days. And
Well,
that's why I said I feel bad for these new people coming in that are so enthusiastic. And I'm like, dude, in like a year and a half, you're going to feel beaten down because your shit didn't go anywhere. Because nobody watches it anymore. It's so hard. Even the bigger channels have become almost plateaued because they're
Yeah.
only appealing to a small audience. You
it's
know,
Yeah,
the drone community is very tiny compared to other communities on YouTube.
it's
it's
just the ones who do reviews that are actually getting anywhere now. People
it's
aren't bothered about just watching
Like, and
drone
like
videos.
like I said, I personally think that Dobo is stifling himself by staying with the drone shit. I
we're
think if he took it into a
mm,
more computer and focused more on cameras and computers and stuff like that, I honestly think he would be 3 times bigger right now.
we'll talk
Just my
about that.
opinion.
We'll talk about that off mess because I talk to Dobo all the time. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
it
I'll
probably
discuss that with
make
you.
more
I'm
money
not.
with his 3D printing stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw his personal business out there, but we'll talk about that. I think you'd be
Oh
quite
no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to
hold on.
throw any personal
I
stuff.
think
I'm just going by what I see on YouTube.
right. But I don't want
listen,
to talk. Go ahead.
sorry,
No, I get
Dan, go on.
it, Dan.
You're good, man. I'm just saying I don't want to because I know that he's got other business dealings on the side that aren't for everyone else, right? They're not for your eyes. The things he's doing in the background is very business-esque oriented related with
Oh, I'm just talking
companies
about
and
YouTube itself.
but YouTube isn't gonna I think me and him have talked about this plenty of times. It's not really a bill payer. It's great because what it's doing is building his brand and his business. That's all he's focused on. The YouTube pay is minimal compared to what he can build his business into based off of the content that he's creating and the things. It's giving him opportunity he didn't have elsewhere by continuing to push forward with the drone stuff because of the size of his channel. It's not
Yeah.
about the pay for him. It's about how much is this going to carry my business and how much is it going to help.
That was
Right?
a point I was making, that there's a difference between long-term success and immediate financial reward, right? So those two things would be separate for him.
Right, like, and all I'm saying is with his personality and the type of, especially how more professional he's gotten in the last year, because like he said, he didn't want to do the drinking shit on stream no more because he wanted to be more professional and all that. And I get that. And I think that if he went in a different direction and targeted a bigger market on YouTube, I honestly think he could have the numbers that like Linus Tech has.
I'm going to be honest with you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
He's growing 8,000 subs a month right now, bro. That is insane. His numbers are crazy.
And like I
at
said,
the
I
moment.
think if he focused and put more of the drone shit on the back burner and focus more on like I said, like cameras, because like the photography community is 10 times bigger than drones.
But they play into each other. The roles play into each other. He uses these as tools for what he does with cinematography and photography, which is why he makes live streams, how to edit, how to do this shot, how to do that, right? He's creating his brand. He's doing a very good job of it, to be honest with you.
I
I'm actually
agree.
quite impressed by how he's doing it.
You've got to remember as well that DJI is primarily a camera company. It's not a drone company.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% what they are. Oh, I got to take this real quick. Hold on a sec, guys. It's my mom.
His roommate. No, but like I said, I'm just talking from YouTube aspects. I think that he could be a Linus Tech size channel, because I think the drone stuff I think is still kind of small beans compared to other genres on YouTube. Like I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to get into gaming is, one, I liked gaming, but two, the gaming market is fucking massive. I mean, if you look how many active gamers there are around the world, I mean, there's estimated to be like over 3 billion. That's almost half the population.
Also, there's a bit of there's more future in it, simply because the government isn't about to kill off gaming, right?
No, they tried that back in the 90s and the early 2000s when gaming became really, really massive. And it didn't go anywhere, and now it's kind of just become something they don't really pay attention to anymore, They had their little shot at it back then, trying to ban it because of like GTA and different games like that, but now it's become so normal, they don't even pay attention to it no more. And there's just like I said, if I was to grab 1% of the gaming community, dude, I'd be fucking huge. Just 1%. I'd be fucking massive, dude. I'd have like 15, 20 million subs. Easy. You know what I'm saying? That's just 1% of it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's one of the other reasons why I wanted to get into it, because I figured, that's a bigger community. It's massive. I mean, there's YouTubers on that have 5, 6 million subs that I watch, and I'll ask other people that are big gamers, you ever heard of this person? No. Because that's how big the community is. They haven't even heard of this person that has 6 million subs. That's how big it can be. And there's so many different genres of the gaming community. There's guys that do specific things in the gaming community. That's all they do. They don't bounce around and play 10 different games that are completely opposite of each other. They focus on one game, 1 or 2 games, and that's their bread and butter.
It seems to me that the gaming community, as we're putting it, as we're referring to it as, is like a personality. It's like it's a personality game, not the game. I mean, the business of making money in gaming is about personality, right? So that's what you're selling. You're selling yourself and your brand as and your personality. So your unique selling point, as it were, whatever they call it, is you. You see what I mean?
And to be honest, I think the major problem with the drone community, one of the biggest problems, is there's too much sub for subbing going on. And to be honest with you, they might say, oh yeah, I sub to you, but I guarantee they're not going to watch 90% of your videos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. That's why you see so many drone channels kind of peak out around 1,000 subs, and then they just kind of,
because there's only 1,000 really hanging around active in the community, so it kind of burns it out, the number.
Right, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of sub for sub, and instead of the drone community trying to reach people outside the community, they're too focused on, let me get all my buddies in the chat to sub to me, and I'll sub back to them just to boost each other's numbers, but they're not actually watching each other's stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm subbed to a few drone channels that and it's usually people I'm very close with, that I interact with on a daily basis, but I don't watch all their stuff. I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I'm subbed to
People who
Joe's
sub to
channel,
me.
but that doesn't mean I watch every one of Joe's videos. But if he puts a
Right.
crash video up, I'll watch that.
I mean,
You know,
I don't even make
because I'm
content.
just
I've got people sub to me.
I'm not interested in drone footage anymore. But I
Mm.
don't expect him to watch all my shit neither. I don't expect him to watch any of my shit because he's not into gaming.
Yeah.
He might be subbed to me for when I do a live show, which I totally understand. You know, I got a lot of guys that will watch me when I do in a live chat, but the minute I start gaming, my numbers drop way down because they don't want to watch it because they're not into gaming, and I don't blame them. I'm not going to expect them to come and watch my stuff just because they're subbed to me, you know? And I'm not going to get
Yeah.
mad at them and be like, "Oh, why didn't you watch my video?"
I don't really
Like
watch any
that's
gaming content anymore. It's only because I'm being a little bit more economical or sensible with my time.
well, the thing is too is once you get into something, you tend to not want to watch the same shit you're doing. Like I used to watch a lot of gaming channels, and now that I'm doing it myself, I stopped watching a lot of them because when I go onto YouTube, I don't want to watch a bunch of the same shit I'm already doing. I want to watch something that has nothing to do with what I'm doing.
Yeah, you've only
Because
got a
you get
finite
burnt.
amount of time in the day anyway.
Well, you get burnt out. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna get burnt out watching the same shit all the time.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get off Fortnite playing 6 hours of Fortnite with Jason and Tim and everybody else, and then turn around and go watch some dude's channel for 6 hours watching him play, because I'm already done my time playing it, and I feel burnt out when I get off, and I just don't want to watch somebody else's content doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's just my opinion on it. I mean, people can do what they want. But you know, I hear a lot of people in the drone community too that, you know, a lot of them will start saying, "Oh, you know, I don't care about views. I don't care if people watch us." Then why are you on YouTube? At some
Right.
point you cared. It's just you realized it wasn't going anywhere, and YouTube beat you down to nothing. And you got this attitude of, "I don't care."
Yeah, I don't care
Well,
about this thing that I'm watching. Okay.
right. It's like, then why are you wasting all this time editing and uploading videos? Obviously you do care to a certain extent. But like I tell people in the drone community, you know, if your intent when you came on YouTube was to grow and make money, do something else on YouTube. You don't have to leave the community. You can still come in under another account name and hang out, but do something else. Try something else. Don't keep trying to beat a dead horse that's not going to do anything. And then
It's
there's
okay
people,
go on.
I was gonna say, and there's people that I have recommended that I thought had a good personality and a real drive for YouTube that were doing drone stuff, and I told them you should do something else, like Wedge and Big. Ask him how many times I've told him I think he's wasting his time doing drone stuff, but he enjoys it. But in my opinion, I've told him, as much drive as you have and as much time as you spend doing your live shows and stuff, if you were doing something that was more popular, you would probably have 10 times more people in your chat and be 10 times bigger. Because
Probably.
you have
I'm
that
always
drive.
impressed by Paul's production value, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has a lot of drive and stuff for his show. But I think him going for the drone stuff, I think is stifling him. But that's just my
Okay.
opinion. He can do what he wants.
Sure,
It's his
yeah.
channel. That's just my personal opinion. I've told him that tons of times. And he's answered me back, "Well, you know, I enjoy the drone stuff. It's a therapy for me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I just give my
I think
opinion. You can either take
I
it or
think Paul's very in touch with his you know, his mental health and how he kind of fits into the whole jigsaw puzzle of life, really, you know. I think he's got a good measure on what makes him happy. Good for him, you know.
But yeah, it's just like I said, like it's just my opinion. People do what they want. And I respect them for doing whatever they want. But like I said, if your goal was to get massive and grow and be big and have a name for yourself on YouTube, I think doing the drone stuff is really not the way to go. Just in my opinion.
Do you think they're going to ban DJI drones? What do you reckon?
I think it's just a matter of when. I don't think if it's gonna happen. I think it's just a matter of when it's gonna happen.
Is
And
that
I've
the
said
general
that for a long
consensus?
time.
Do most
No,
people think that way?
I think a lot of the drone community's got their head in the sand when it comes to that, because they think that the government's just going after Chinese drones. They're not seeing the bigger picture of it's a big anti-Chinese sentiment. It's very much supported on both sides of the aisle. And what I mean by that is Democrats and Republicans are both widely supporting, like they're almost wanting to get off of China's tit and kind of slowly kill them off by let's ban this thing, let's do this, let's move this factory out of here. You know, a lot of American businesses are now starting to move out of China. It's a small part of a larger pie, and I don't think a lot of the guys in the drone community are paying attention to that. They think, oh, the government's just attacking my drones, and it's just they're going after just Chinese drones.
I think the whole issue is just an attempt to garner part of or snatch part of the market, you know, in a really shitty way. And I think it's bad for everyone, bad for consumers, bad for manufacturers. It's even bad for them, but they just don't realize, you know.
But like I said, it's just, I think a lot of people in the drone community are looking at it as just like they're just going after Chinese drones when it's a bunch of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately the drone community is too small, I think, to really make a huge impact with the politicians. Because so far, every time they've done these, like, you know, drone alliances and wrote to Congress and stuff, it doesn't really ever go anywhere.
Well, I will say, Justin, that it still doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I mean, I think that...
No. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I know you're not saying that, but when you say it usually doesn't, it's very easy to get disheartened by not getting progress in this kind of department. But I think we should still be encouraged to do our bit, you know, and lobby our politicians. Joe has a link in his profile about it, you know.
Yep.
The only reason why I haven't signed it is because I'm not American. It's not my business. It won't be taken seriously anyway if an English guy were to do that, but it's still a good idea.
Now, as much as I support the whole argument of first responders need a good drone to use and all that, at the same time, I don't have a heart for China, dude. I really don't. Like, I could give two shits if we ban everything from China. Like, I just don't like China as a country, period. Like, at the same time, I feel for everybody that's using the drones, and whether they're flying recreational or professional, but at the same time, it's like, I have this attitude of fuck China. I could give two
fuck
shits
China,
less.
but I don't think fuck the Chinese. I just think the communists, the government in China
that's what I'm talking about.
Bad guys, you know.
But at the same time, is that going to change anytime soon? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, now I'm not saying fuck the Chinese people. I'm saying fuck the Chinese as in the government. And I don't care enough to really want to try to advocate for a Chinese product. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. And like I said, I totally understand everybody else's side of it. But at the same time, I would rather ban them and come up with an American drone that's built here in America in American factories paying American workers, because I know we could build a better drone. It's not the matter of we can't. We just don't. At the moment, we don't want to. But to say we couldn't is completely outrageous.
The regulations that they're proposing really shows up a failure of intuition from the American government, and that is that they're not seeing the explain this properly. Give me a minute to explain this, but
the value in a drone.
The way that businesses, the way that products improve is they take a product, they break it, and they iterate. They break and iterate over and over and over, and things improve as a result of that. That's part of the process. It's like an evolution. Now, the thing is, Americans American companies will design a product. It will be manufactured wherever, Indonesia, China, whatever, and then they are the second part of that process, the iteration part. So when you break that cycle, you no longer get the same amount of technological improvement that you would have got when you have the break it and iterate. Am I making sense?
Yep.
Oh, fuck me, my audio might have gone. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to correlate with
My
exactly
audio's
what
dinging, that's all. It's out of battery. That's why I said that. Sorry.
what you're meaning about that. Like,
Yeah, so that's why I think it's a really dreadful idea. And I think it's going to have long-lasting effects that
honestly,
they're just not seeing.
but I think that it might be bad for about a year or so. But I'm gonna say that if DJI did get banned, it's gonna probably be a couple $1 billion of a vacuum that's gonna be created because they're no longer there anymore. I honestly think that's gonna drive some crazy innovation from a bunch of different companies that are gonna want to fill that market.
Yeah, that's entirely possible as well. Yeah.
And I think it might be tight, it might be kind of shitty for a year or so. But the way companies innovate and pump stuff out these days, dude, I honestly think it would be an exciting time for the drone community because I feel like I said, you're going to see a lot of companies stepping up wanting to fill that vacuum because that's a couple $1 billion market.
So
and they want a piece of that pie.
That's fair comment, but consider this, right? Part of the process as well, although I've only given you 2 steps in that process of the breaking and iteration, there is a research and development type side to this too, which goes on the cheap. And that is part of the breaking. So when people buy the product, use the products, and share what's good about them and buy them or not buy them, that's part of the evolution of that product. That's where some of the research and development comes from. So the really good way to show you an example of this in action is to see.
Oh shit! Someone's in trouble.
See what Elon does. You know what Elon does with what's it called, SpaceX, right? Where he takes the rocket. And now here's the thing. People see the rockets go up and they see them crash and all sorts of stuff, and it seems a bit weird, and it seems like a failure. When you have technology that's able, like sensor technology really, which looks at every aspect of why that rocket hasn't worked. You can then iterate different physical models of rockets that will work and end up with a solution. And that's the part of the process that leads up to, in a few years' time, having a rocket that works very well, because it's the product of all of those things, all of those broken rockets, and many iterations. So, and the drone technology that we've got is very much the same thing. The design is based off of what works and what doesn't work, as a blend of public opinion and what they use and what they don't use, and also just the raw technology. And then the manufacturing comes with that. They supply the drones. So they provide the drones for sale at a price that the public can use. And that's also a big part of it. If the drones weren't cheap enough for the public to be able to use them, the R&D part of that process wouldn't happen at all. Because the only reason why they can glean R&D information from that part of the process is because they're cheap enough for people to purchase. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, what blows my mind about this whole thing is 20, 30 years ago, everybody in this country would have been supporting Skydio to come out with drones. If they were around then, they would have been supporting them to build and manufacture and sell what the public wanted, and would have wanted that instead of a Chinese company. Now it seems like everybody wants to support Chinese companies and say, fuck the US companies, they're just out to get everybody.
Was Skydio
I just don't get
manufactured
the, I
in-
don't,
in-
I just
within
don't
Ma-
get the whole switch that this country's done on that. Now it's like, let's support Chinese companies and fuck US companies. And I don't get it.
I see. I take
Because
those two, but-
Chinese manufacturing, one, has been going up drastically every year. The price of Chinese manufacturing. This is one of the reasons why US companies are leaving, because India and Mexico actually have cheaper labor now.
Well, they'll go
And then
wherever it's
two-
cheaper. It doesn't matter that it's China. That and that's
But
the thing
two-
with commerce.
Is
No,
if you
No.
really look at the price of some of the American made drones at the time, or let's say Paradenofi, or if you say you look at which was a French
Skydio.
company.
What
You
was
look at
Skydio? Were they made in America? Skydio.
Yes.
They were. Okay, cool. Thanks.
But if you look at
So-
the price of Skydio, it wasn't really any more outrageous than buying a Mavic 3.
Really?
I mean,
Well-
it really wasn't.
Was nowhere near the same quality.
Right.
Because they weren't really trying, though.
Because they didn't have as much iteration breaking and
Because
research and
this is
development.
the thing, is the US drone market, most of the US drone companies are into military contracts and applications. They actually have
Yeah.
small drones that they've built for the military that will actually outperform a DJI drone in battery life and everything, and can
Yeah.
handle higher winds because of the designs of them. So
Yeah.
to say they couldn't do it, or they don't already have that R&D done,
Oh no, they do. With military, it's different, and I tell you why. Because the
but
military,
they can take military
yeah, but hang on a minute. The military
applications.
don't have to. They don't have to unconventionally get their R&D from customers. They don't have to do that at all. They can actually synthesize that feedback through just making a bunch of them and testing them, and actually doing the R&D the old-fashioned way.
But companies,
Because
but what I'm
they have the
saying is,
resources.
but
The
like,
major problem with Skydio is they were building a camera drone for the public to take videos with a crap camera. And they did nothing to improve the camera.
yeah, because they weren't
Drone
really
is
trying.
fine. The drone is brilliant, but the camera's shit.
Well, like I said, it's a fact that they weren't really trying neither. I mean, look at Altel. Altel, it seemed like they were always kind of getting there where they were going to be like, all right, we're doing this. And then
To
they
be fair,
fucking
I don't-
just stop.
I don't really know what you mean by not really trying. What does that mean?
It means that they weren't really trying to get into the everyday market. They kind of just threw a drone out there and were like, here. They weren't really trying to innovate for the everyday person to use a drone. They were more focused on their military contracts. So they didn't put a lot of time and effort into their, what do you want to say, everyday drone for the everyday person.
It may well
Consumer
have
drone.
been. It may well have been that they were capitalizing on the R&D that was going on from a military perspective, and they were allowing themselves to venture into the private market with the.
Right, but
with,
at the same time,
the
like I
drone.
said, like Mark said, that they weren't really doing anything to improve, which tells me
Sure.
that they weren't really trying as a company.
Because the public
Now-
would have enjoyed a decent camera, because the public wants a decent camera. But the military, if you're gleaning intel from you don't need to know whether or not the army. You just need information. You don't need, let's say, a really top detailed picture of an enemy something or other. You just want it. It's good enough that you know that it's there and it's moving and it's a vehicle and it's this and it's identified as that. I don't think it's very important. There are different aspects of this
Well, it
drone.
depends
that's-
on what kind of mission you're doing too, though.
Right, but what I mean is, it's far less likely for the army to give a fuck about quality, really. You see what I mean? than the
But my
public.
whole point to this original conversation was, I just don't understand the advocation for a Chinese company over an American company.
Just money.
When-
Here's the thing:
when-
they don't care.
when
They don't care where it comes
else-
from.
When everybody else is always bitching about China stealing, getting all our manufacturing jobs and stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
but
it's-
now you're actively advocating for their manufacturing base.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. It's like they're getting something. They're getting a cheaper product. They're getting a product that the public can buy, and the only way they can do that is to have cheap labor. And so they get the cheap labor, and then they're complaining about the cheap labor because of a political angle. And it just seems so fucking retarded to me that they would do that.
Well, it's not even, I'm not even
At the
talking
same
from a
time.
politician standpoint. I'm just talking about an everyday person. I hear people all
Yeah,
the
no.
time, just everyday people bitching about how China's taking all the manufacturing jobs. Well,
Right, but unfortunately it's a fact of if it weren't for China, and maybe you could argue that if it weren't for China treating its labor force like shit, you wouldn't get these cheap products, And if you buy the product, you have to take some kind of responsibility in a supply and demand network. That's what it is. You see what I mean?
Well, and
You are
then a lot of-
responsible to some degree.
and then a lot of people in the drone community were saying, well, what does that mean? We're not going to get so then they should just start banning cell phones and washing machines. And I'm like, it's
Right,
not about
exactly.
the hardware. It's about
Mm.
it's about the software. This was never about where the drones were built at. It was what was running the drones. Just same with cell phones. They can build the phones in China all day long, but the phones are useless without the software.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason
Software
they
is what
give.
tells the components what to do.
But often the reasons are hidden, and I suspect that to some degree, the reason why the general public as well are whinging about it being China is simply because they want to offset their guilt. They know what the conditions are like for the Chinese labor force.
But
It's
like I'm
common
saying,
knowledge.
but like I said, one of the arguments that everybody was trying to make was, well, they just need to ban everything. And I'm like, it has nothing to do. You're not using Chinese software to run a fucking basic ass washing machine.
Right.
Like, it's just a washing machine with a motor in it. Like,
Mm.
and the same with the cell phones. Yeah, Apple might have been making their phones in China, but at the end of the day, they were running American software with American security systems set in place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it comes down to, is like the government's not bitching about the hardware of the drones, they're bitching about the software.
Justin,
That's whether it's real or not, that's their excuse for the whole banning of it.
Justin, you're a washing machine with just a motor in it.
Washing machine.
Ken's
I'll
fucking nuts,
agitate
isn't
you. I'll agitate you.
But, yeah.
Sorry for
No,
the phone
you
call. My uncle's dealing with cancer, colon cancer, so the long talk with
Ooh.
my mom. My uncle.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't think there's a cure for that one, is there?
I have no idea, man.
think
Couldn't
Only
tell
by
you.
taking the colon out.
Yeah, they can remove parts of it.
Yeah, just take your butthole right out.
Yeah, it's not good.
The colon's mainly part of the lower intestines.
Mm-hmm. That's why you always want to poop as much as you can.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
advantage.
There was one of our office juniors had Crohn's disease, and he'd had the majority of his intestines removed as they were trying to get rid of it.
Yep, and then they give you a bag.
Yep.
Yeah. I coined that logical precept that I called Elton's what do they call it? Elton's gambit, where if anal polyps end up in the conversation, it means that the conversation's over. Do you remember me showing you that screenshot, Justin?
Oh,
I called it Elton's gambit. Yeah.
Funny you say that. I was just about to say I'm actually going to get off here.
Oh, there you go. It's true. Told you.
Yeah, I gotta start prepping to. My buddy's bringing his girlfriend's car over. I gotta do the brakes on it.
I've got to do a thing as well. Thanks for the chat, everyone.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go as well. Take care. Thanks very much. I'm gonna go listen to some Metallica whilst I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, everybody in the chat, we'll catch y'all later.
Bye.
So I
Yeah.
gotta
Too
end
much.
it. Everybody in the
Right.
chat,
Bye, everyone.
catch